Nadia. Yeah, you're more quite na a Friday at the Bagana Montier so neat 100.9. I want to say, oh, every Friday, say, everyone best sorry now that one out Jane Rama Husan because Yaka say a year before. Oh, Baba go chrome. And I won't go chrome cry, baby. I want a year be or Ben will pay a cell call. Oh, back when you see a family call, winning family call. Jet cash, no. A do weekend in a one Jenny, I may say a cowbell bono. Now, 2 can now come. May I tell you, I'm a foot trot. Hey, Namako anama tofu, babe. Ete toda bia me ya masa yenko anima na ma she nose mask na metitro na me ko otilo. Na mate de makate down cost no so. O my Ghana na mu no kra no His Excellency JD Ami ati say no man ko yie. Ete ye cut down the cost. Now wo yo muni no wo na cut down the cost. Ete mesra weekend dey me pa pa weekend dey me sraw. Minim say enyame na me pay sika ma wo. Ana minim say hey say wo use sika kra enyame masem. Ba me de me kaka wo say wo spend ya aya no careful. Because obi o ha obetima di ni sika nyina Friday to Saturday, Sunday. Na wa gina ni Monday no da ho na odwenwen. E ba ncho me masa binto. Sunday na ya correct o. Well, why you see Kenya Monday na adwenwen hwe. Yen ye the format bi na ye de na mo nti eno abi ne ye poni bi ama wo no. Ahokyere nya papa, ahokyere ya de bi enyenyenyenye. Me se wote wo pa na wuhia be 100 cedis. 100 cedis o na de akwaya de na twa wani ba bi a wunya bie. Masa jan. Ja. Ede me sira se kakra be di unsama wo spend ya me sira wa wada o masika na ewa usika. Me a memiti yes sika no enya de a me ba be di bie. Dem mo me de futuo na me de ma so ho. O spend especially every weekend mu say now spend and why very careful. Why you're very careful man one pacho. Because ye can you say Pasiano say the menyonko ni enemy. Ohwo kire we de ya so ade ba beda. Ngada me bua. Ana ohwo kire wa we say if am o ben. Okay, me de me too full. Okay, me did the luxurious say Ajuma de near friend Ghana Montier we need 100.9. Oh, kwa wade ase, wo kwa bedin to ase. E wana kwa spread the cash. Say bi ho na be spread there no problem. They be ni ho dia mesrew. Kakra wona de abo anipa. That's all. E kwada ne ma omo sorry o na de ache. Won be ko school me pa o chewo. Nyane wo mo mame wa nyane wo mo hey sorry wake up wake up wake up akwada no and then unse Friday the homework bebre fie omade an say parental guidance wo for kan ho no nye ni homework and pa one check it there the pancho ma wo ba no so when be say me ba girl no asada wa mo ma kwan previous way no we need best award as neatest student I just said who cha asada we need asada bia no we twa neat the person wo ba no so we need bisa why atade na asane no matele no ya ade yema ne pempam ne kama Nempabo no ano abie mesrew yenim se no mo den de me ba cho mesrew shoemaker no obetwa mama ne mpamma no kama ya sa na ye no ye ntompabo afoforo bia o empabo no why wo de ba ye be pam why a ye be pam the 1,000 times because can e bi ni o na watu akwada no fo me fa 9 pempem bo ete mesrew why ya ma no so ni books no obetwa bag ni wo say books bi wo ho a tete so nkwana no wa ma oni ankwa ho asa o wan kwa ne school bag ni mu a books ni betete saa na books nso ne to no ne boarding ne to na form etimise no wa per solid tape bi now they ateta books na ti ama no that's all na abo ho wan ana the american no menya adwen ne pencil na no wa check it so ma just a pencil men to no 11 pencil no de ade no ma mo de ba ne bo nhyɛ dan ye din bebre ene your friend say erasers ne sharpness no eno na ebeya enese ewu kokrom ni sika na wo de kwakotena baabi e de agi wani ni yibi na fato pencils fato sharpener auto sharpener ne pack no wato erasers ne beye 10 ana auto pack baako na wato pencils no pen nso a pen de wo de se untimi to box no kra auto beye baako mako 5 bi a so ana eno no ye auto ne sa ana eno ne ye wa nti ye ne sa so aha ye ne sa wa enti mo wani nko wo mai ehu pa chewo okay na Friday ama sancho me kwa rama fo ba be jina dwa obejina dwa na eche se ya ye kaji agum de obon krata mu nsem wo ho meno kasa adwuma de na demo Facebook ye ni 100.9 FM ni 100.9 FM Sarah so na se wo call YouTube channel no so akwa na Despite Media no na YouTube channel and I will call TikTok no so akwa so ye ni 100.9 FM ni 100.9 FM midin the Mark Jerry OSEI AGYEMAN me pacho enra His Excellency JDM Oshia Ghana adwumayefo nka bomuko eti Ghana adwumayefo aye aban adwumayefo yato o makatuam 10%. Hooray! Akaye Dr. Father Dixon no. Neno na eye JDM sika na bi ni ho. Ose na nado dan kwakufu ado they criminally mishandled Ghana's economy. Me pacho JDM na ka nti na ebebisa se eye no kre se na nado dan kwakufu ado na ban no they criminally mishandled Ghana's economy. Womo de adwem bone na womo de essay Ghana sikasem. Me pacho JDM na ka nti na no pe ibedi unkomo. Na me aminia Ernest ya okumi akwetia mrahye bedwane. Wonim se nra okọ mrahye bedwafie ho. No okọ because ade a minority no woma file appeal. Womo hwese court no intansa na ode abo Ernest ya okumi no. Womo hwese court eso no ebe kwaje afiri ho. Na enra okasai ewo parliament ensemben na Ernest ya okumi akwetia mrahye bedwane. Ensemble no the two general e o mrahye bedwafie o mebo ama watibi. Weekly in retrospect na wo twen sembebre na apiepie. Ensembebre na asisi. No mpa o mampani appointment no so e ko say appointment o they say this is no vet na ekoso. Ana mawie. And because I'm seeing say in fact Ghana man penny o to me so bepa this is no or ye very strategic on person be power dede bebre beba dede de oya dia JDM dede de oya dia beba na mum o person unlimited no enkonko e bebre because who appointed DCs na say one ye due diligence ni year masa amafo demonstrations and crowdfo be ye gu aso no and this for be so dwa o mo say masa ye ba ya say ade na ye hu hwi o. And our then I say, oh, my penny practicing legal government. Now, so be an obey to my pound. As a young queen, anymore, how you need 100.9. And I pay the media said, I'm a peacefmolite.com, citynewsroom.com, myjoyonline.com, checkoutghana.com, Star FM GH classfmolite.com, any other relevant news portal. Me pacho unim say nran so clock sack wo mo call strike no. Eti wo mo strike no wo mo gusu gina mu ana say wo mo sesen. Me de clock sack say mo strike we am ko ne de masa me ne mo ya adwen. Me say mo strike we de me ne mo ya adwen. The more find genuine reasons are na de mo ken. Asam no kra no mo de akwadan court dada. Na we am mate aduan ne sen. Mate aduan ya ene sen. Because yeah, my Mrs. Henrietta Lamte, time on our best and deaths one on no so much politically exposed. And so, on my penny, Nanado Bonidi 2022, but to many year, Juma ABC a year 7 January and 6 January, Nanado, Edina Juma Banner. Eti edian ya na ebesi amogmoti atun edian ya na ebesi enva matu atie we die clock sack basa menemo ya adwen kra oh ene ya ba adwuma wo bekọ ewu pe bibi intenta wo bekọ na madam ye register business bi you say clocks are cost strike nti it delay the process ade nkonyasie bi na wo hɔ anoma senkonya no na de amu ye die ale yanko enim na unim say president nso apa on the cabinet 19 member cabinet mebubo edini nyina de amount me patro yanko enim de nhwe esem ahodo edi ahima bevon total man so NPP government criminally mishandled Ghana's economy. Mahama President John Dramani Mahama has accused the previous government under Nana Akufo-Addo of mishandling the country's affairs, claiming it managed the country criminally. Me patro said the media can boss one. JDM, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said Nanado. And then about what say o me poto. Eche say wo mo de adwem bone pa na esi omutiri no mo de aso o me sika se ba unim amentwi adwen se bebe so. Many fie aban sesan mamente say aban awaba so no so aban etwem no wabo no modern da menti bi da. Menti bi da. Say Omanpenye Dada Kofo take over from JJ Rawlings. Okay, say JJ Rawlings abo no modern. Da be o se wa say o man poto. Sa abre ne ye ko hepe. Say Professor Mills say take over. Professor Mills krampo de. Oka kire say Ghana for samupe baby amusika afa. Public Accounts Committee for eye setena yenkotena television echi na yenhwe yebemu baby ayisika afa. Professor Mills ne kan ada we review na ye de kan no mapa o. Ana Professor Mills nyamemfa ne kransie JD mebedi na de. JD bedi na de na na do dagwagu fa do bae. On say waye oman say lalu oman na ka coins said another kan no kra said no nya ska do betu adwumayefo ka enso yetena mu yanhye ana na JD amasan ba biem o se na another criminally mishandled the economy we dey say nwuma mato a kire san so yenwu da oman ne nhye da etiana politicians bibisa so o maka no kore no na de kire yan na wo maka no kore mo ba na mu ntu adwumayefo ka ho ana mo ba fu okra mboto agum ka mo ayana oman ye ni scared beto fu okra do egu okem ana mo kan samre te say de oman na say ma asa ye beshi ana historical analysis na me ye no ento azumu okay yonko ento aso yemfa we government has procured adequate fuel to sustain power supply by Fosu. The Minister of State for Government Communication, Felix Kwasi-Ofosu, has assured the public that the government has secured adequate fuel supplies to prevent disruptions in power generation, despite recent complaints of intermittent power outages in parts of the country. Mepancho Eyadia Owura Felix Kwasi-Ofosu enra so san your press conference or your press briefing and no friend press briefing. Or say aben wato from go pa enya dia dumso ebeba but unim emia bi nkane ne dundum pa no kura wo mu ne say me baby a mete ne ade ne kane ne dum but enye too much e wo ma na dum ba ko bi but am for complain say baby o mo ne kane ne dundum mo nti mo me nhwe say yo how bi ane ahwe ne aso wo e dey free here. Mahama assures of higher pay for public sector workers when economy recovers. Mahama assures of higher pay. Okay, President John Dramani Mahama has assured public sector workers that if the economy recovers, he will ensure higher remuneration for them in the coming year. Mepacho His Excellency John Dramani Mahama or say abedwumayefo say economy ni Ghana sika 72 ye ne ekọ year or say onomwa na ebedie obeto market yemu amana kosoro enkonko ye 10%. Iti di aba beto dwa eno. Government increases base pay 10% for public sector workers and medical boamane say nay abayna to abedwumayefo aketuemo by 10%. Clockside proceed with strike over births and deaths registrar appointment. So some members of the Civil and Local Government Staff Association of Ghana Clockside in the northern region and other parts of the country have proceeded with a strike declared by their leadership in protest against the appointment of Samuel Adumbochi as registrar of the Birth and Death Registry. Ebusunya said America no. There clocks at 4. Abeduma and 4 binom no. Womo say womo enko ejuma adan ya omampanya bobi din a womo susu say oye politically exposed. Just oye NDC ni na waboni din say onko Birth and Death because a civil servant say oye exposed political entities oba. Mahama administration repeating dangerous radio shutdowns. Media Foundation for West Africa. The Media Foundation for West Africa has weighed in on government's recent shutdown of 7 private radio stations, warning that the move sets a dangerous precedent for press freedom and media pluralism. Yeah, pluralism. I was at the woman is a Media Foundation for say communications minister. Ora Sam Jata George was shut down or say radio stations Makomako and song woman krata asemi nimo enti oso omuntutum. Then the Media Foundation was say, hey, ade we anyo slow so de ya bi na wo so wuye. Sabre Sam George o ka de en esu MPP form so be ka de sama kan me say radio shut down we MPP form me trend am be kan ye. En na NDC form so me trend am be kan. Because ABC ye no yete sama mo kan enti mo maintain this status quo no. Nenu no say we no eye kabima mi kabio press freedom sense entrofo ye be ye dwuma no na Sam George ye ka hye yo 18 no ibi na media brewe ye dia sedem peacefmonline.com citynewsroom.com myjoyonline.com check out ghana.com starfmgh classfmonline.com any other relevant news portals and open michia eye Cecil and we'll check out ghana.com. Mejiana no poku minta ya kwa wita fo hene. Ete wona bia na wuhia ya kwa wita fo hene na no poku minta mo se mafe no pa amase no. Na na nkwa so o me bom mu ase wo de hie. Ena no pe mechia pa. Okay, Facebook for more Mabaso no and Chama Sancha me kwara for Bejinedwa. Ibrahim Balfour we share live and we Alasan Gonja. Also good morning Magjerry, I'm watching you live from Kafaba is Gonja. Also Chia Kafaba Wura ya say do. I'll be cages is thank God it's Friday watching you live from Ketekrache. And a citizen Francis and hi Magjerry, good morning. I like your Ghana Jesse. Looking forward to another informative and engaging show. Greeting to Abiru Bubu Ashe. Citizen Francis and then my work gumpa. Obekwe menasi and ye easy. Okay, Dominic Opokwa said, good morning, Magjerry. I'm watching you live from Alabanyo, Volta region. I beg from Monday, bring whistle along and add it to the. Sorry. Wake up. Okay, and Abrabu was said 120 days is still counting. You must there. You say good morning, Magjerry and Kwabena for. And we say what you live regards to Kwame Bequin, incoming MPP Greater Accra Youth Organizer Ibrahim Balfour Power Painting. Isaac Opoku said good morning, Magjerry. I'm watching you live from Abeka Junction. God bless you too. Renoki, and a Renoki, and a Rhino mum. Also, Mag, your colleague Kwabena. How did he get a job? Oh, and as I did. Cecil Abeka said, good morning, Magjerry. Please, your history is confusing me. My greeting to Mrs. Monica Abeka. History would end confusing. Aban Ben, ya twice, Aban Sasa. Yatese, Abe, Chairman, one beggars, woman, just gather. There be Aban Sasa, woman say, Esikeni. Obi about Esikeni. Where's the Magjerry? Your energy this morning is unmatched. You're on top. Stay safe. Where you bless my store. And a Kuze Johnson, I'll say Mark Jerry. And Cecil said, Mark Jerry, why you don't want to greet me? Don't you know that you are my mentor? Okay, Cecil, I become a child, baby. I will. One I need baby out there. Lampreke Rashid said, Doomsaw is mine. Please, we need timetable. Are you sure? And can I, yes, me to me cocoa, for instance, and cocoa. We say, maybe you would on cocoa. Me to turn on my crack table. So, and cocoa, and fan can you do doompa, minim DNT, and cocoa. A year quo region, so can you do doompa, and me to me, I be on can you doom. But then, baby, okay, where you about time so Asonaba or Kofua Sare. Or say good morning, Mark Jerry. I'm watching you live from UK. Good job. Ibrahim Abdul Rahman also watching you live from Asinfosu. Lifetime Legacy also I'm watching you live from from Indiana, United States of America. Where's Mark Jerry? I'm watching you live from Ashalaja. And a Godfrey Jacosa, I'm watching you live from Edmonton, London. William Frank Addo, I say good morning, my brother. Amwaku Kusipita, I'll say, well done, Mark. Felix, where then? Felix Chiffy, bingo. I say good morning, Mark, live in UK, Sheffield. And Amaz Ransford, I say good morning, Mark Jerry. God bless you with your good work. And Godwin Nuchi, I say, Mark J, tomorrow, Saturday, 22nd February, is my birthday. Then happy birthday to you in advance, my brother. More YouTube, more Facebook. Yadama say. Okay, and Kratanaba. Mamike Janungum. Amasanchi Amekorama for Tanasia. There you be. So, what for 1950 paper daily graphic? 10% pay rise for government workers. Minimum wage now 19 Ghana cedis, 97 pesos. Intianuni, but they try Facebook and YouTube and TikTok live. Offer a daily banner. No more coup, Ekufuado. And they can say that's the big the big one on the front page of the daily banner. And it's about Tokwe. Good. Now you find the custodian. Democracy remains Africa's best option. Ekufuado affirms, endorses ex-Coupe's book into where the custodian. That's the big one on its front page. The new center. Baumia condemned dismissals. Urges President Mahama to reverse them. That's the big one on the News Center, the front page of the News Center. So that is it. And I'm showing it to you live on the YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. The Ghanaian publisher, OSEI, rededicates to democracy, Ekufuado, to African leaders. It's a no so boha campaign. The Insight, Royal Field, as Fetek Akraba Chief, Queen Mother face off over public toilets. It's a no so bo and him had the Insight. The Obokratano. Samedoko, the new weekend crusading guide. Or some disappointed coup d'etats are back in fashion, says Ekufuado as he endorses book by ex-coupist Baumia Hull. Okay, I don't know about yeah. It's it. That is it. NPP's handling of the economy made Ghana a crime scene. President, Presudo, the kind of Ghana's economy was criminally mishandled under Ekufuado and also JDM Presido. Ebo Daily Post and him. That's all. You crossover. You can say about no day, bro. This year.
About Nunsia. I have a piece 104.3 FM. Okay. 101.7 neat 100.9. Ya worship house Wabeka Junction Accra. Hello 101.5 we dum Kumasi. O my ma ya mamu nyina chi. E bread sen sama ya boa no ye mai mu ne nkrofo amanso ye de somo say peace anopa nunsia kase. Every piece of FM so ankransa and am radio stations bro head dunum so Ghana ne amono ne. Yeah, live for Hot Digital Radio so London, Unity Radio Worcester, Massachusetts. Kasebo live Peace 104.3 FM and na Peace FM online Facebook Facebook no and na fe YouTube despite media and pay TikTok ne so talk live TV then someone me dey so mo say ka se boni bi and say adwuma foku ba tan ajatum say aban edi akatua ntumu ohanche mu edu 10% minimum wage na aba nso ma do agiri mrahye begenu for frank not dom prenso esese de yakoso oboko no mbesre se bambo so afo brano o ma ne nan enye ntientia mrahye bedwamu a wo ba be ka de ekono de ekire wo mum afei senkrofo obekọ senior high school cut off no a aban ebese wode esan ebase e wo se onim de edru ba bi won sohwe utumi bo modern edru ba bi no kane soafo abedi kira na wo hwe nwumasuan so se kwan aban pese ofa so na wode yi free SHS no efri ho yekọ amonone ensemu a ehye miensa bases miensa na atopa ya kasa ewo mu ewo Israel na dia ina posifo eka efa ho ensem bi ka wonum ho na yede somo se peace anopa no nsia kase yede asedema JA Binding Company Limited or the bind stain remover and new bind 20 disinfectant bind stain remover and yi fini nkeka wa efifi ho ma ho ne die ni gina yie ewo fi ho enti obatan obapa udi dwa no ano aka bind stain remover no and be me fi ho ate new bind 20 disinfectant na mo amwa de do mpani omu ni nyina be yi omu fi ho I was told akese na nketu mu okọ Melcom China Mall Shoprite Game Dreambell my 11 any adia won sabeka bi 0243104883 0243104883 and 0541808096 ye wo Kivo hot pepper moko show moko sampa pa bi abaga na dwa so ehhehye so de Kivo enonom aduane bia ye hia moko dia ye noodles spaghetti shito for yin kwan ehhehye so den tudu dwa so a na wakaya to Kivo no prekom medima for about center for cheche omanfo ewo fie eni omanfo won krane ne potamu se omo de ayaresa no aba poko asemayira wono na nkrofo sanmane Dr. Time da so no wasise odu poko asemayira na strokes sia de waposo na wo na wo pe na abo pin a obeboa wo 0244774282 0244774282 afi 0500727215 ye wo this way chocolate drink koko so fa so ni nyina wo mu anopai de no fiefo hia ka ho am eni suhie enwada roma ena kasebo yi ba medin nana ya kunedu afrika sebo mu semni apedie emu ekuba tan no titrani meche general secretary ema trade union congress ora Joshua Ansa e de atodwa se na no de omampani John Dramani Mahama eni won hia yesi ni ginaye na katua ntomu minimum wage de wo hanchemu edu 10% ato so no wo mu tie na no asem eni adesede ode eto wanim se efom odin timre papa ebeba no so agye atom ewo akoma papa emu enura ye no nsia kase boso no wone maame bia makwafo din komo no kire se wo mu de na komo hwe kwan se anya hwe no entumu no be yo hanchemu edunum 15% nenso omampani John Dramani Mahama no akasa edna no atum bi ene o makasa se wo munye o hanchemu edunum na yenhwebre papa ya edi anim enti wo masom
and the budget 10%. And so, oh, you be business on my pen a few more. I am a year pass or no, and an image for you. We saw in negotiations. And I get pretty and what kind of you say, on my penny, Abu negotiations and or buy or send go to look for mobile. So, W on my penny is on my penny back and not between my pen. Say, send your my traditional woman engineer in this say, na your train tire or my bubble. Na o actually India and there I'm feeling or say so much says on penny but I say 10% now to me at their money no say so much and yeah idea in this but on penny the chop powder between the movie no say for you seems to me na my itumpo
Oni pete ne kase yo Joshua Ansa we General Secretary Emma Trade Union Congress na ne de achi na pedie mu pensem for meche labor analyst ye reyi adombo champion sanso de to so se aban foforo te se de abai de o hanche mu edu ye se apafo ana adwumayefo besom saa ifri se ya ahyase papa ewo manyo ene adwumayefo entem nsem ehon
Normally, Sababia Basso Fra, Ayana, a person or to me, if you're not Katia Semi, because Katia Semno, more dupa or on expenditure. This is we are Katia, now we interest my loans I apologize. Not that we work in this kind of crowd, a swagging. And the weapons of managing, Kaka. If you 10% there, I tell me, America said, it's a good starting point. If you are calling him no, and my year, if you are available to me up to more, but 10% not for Nina. I just 2 minutes. I'm going to say, Ayara, yes, for now.
Onipa yɛte ne akyerɛ ye owura yi adomboache amponsa waya pedie mu mpensempensemufo yɛnsɛntwerɛ ne Abdullahi Dasmani ɛne tintim sem yi ɛba yɛ mrahye bedwam ɛna yɛduri na mrahye bedwam hɔ nso amado agiri mrahye bedwani ɔsan minority chief whip Onmunyafo Frank anodom predi adesrede ato bambo soafo anim wɔne amanwe ɛsoafo ɛsɛ wɔn srada asoe mienu ya won kentene won ho na wɔmɛbɔ mrahye bedwafo amane de ekoso ɛwɔ bɔko ɛne nkronkro yi atwa ne ho ahyiam ɛbra na wɔn bobo nsɛm ahodoɔ ɛho ɛwɔ bɔko ɛne bambɔ nsɛnsɛm mu ɛne onmunyafo Frank anodom prema asasem yi ɛsom na wakyerɛkyerɛ mu de akyerɛ sɛ de nti ehia sɛ bambɔfo adwuma ɔmo yɛ ɛwɔ bɔko ɛne sɛ de nneɛma esi kronom ɛbra no efie anansa mrahye bedwafo ɛte no wɔkyerɛkyerɛ mu sei ɛsan so ɛka kokosi wale de no a nansɛn akoso no so ɛho.
Collectively, from the outfit of Parliament and the outfit of our security agencies, it may degenerate, and we may come back to talk about this same matter and lament about it. So probably we can have a close sitting because the military has also been mentioned in same matter. It is no more of an internal security concern. We can bring the Interior Minister and the Defense Minister at the same platform to carry us along. And Speaker, it should not be one-off. It should not just be one-off. We have to sustain a monitoring effort. The next 1 month or two, there should be a regular briefing on same subject matter. And it's important that security agencies and Parliament collaborate.
Onipa yɛte ne akyerɛ yi de yɛte ne onmunyafo Frank anɔ dompre na wama no ansi hɔ a wɔsan so susu ho de kyerɛ sɛ wɔsa brano ntoto ahodoɔ wɔn ɛkan wɔn ahwɛ no man ka ne yi atama ɛhye nipa sɛ de AC ewu wɔn afa ho adwene wɔ bere papa mu a nipa pii bɛtotɔ wɔ hoye no emu.
We cannot wait until it gets out of hand, and we can only thank God that the matter hasn't degenerated so badly. But it's urgent that if we don't do anything about it, more lives will be lost, economic activity will be brought to an abrupt end, which will not benefit us as a country. So without more, I will only want to suggest that you give us some directives and ensure that we get the two ministers, both Interior and Defense, to attend upon this House at a close sitting. Mainly because of the subject matter, at a close sitting, for us to purgate and engage appropriately on same subject matter. I thank you, Speaker.
Onmunyafo Frank Nodom Pre Henry Kwesiminka and a day amanibwe ebaye. Osofo abedi ekyire a na ohwe nwomesua eso ano wo nwomesua so enumu ewa bandadano emu onmunyafo John osofo intim fodwo ena esese omampani John Dramani Mahama se na ben yi yese obi obekọ senior high school no de ubetwa ewo BC mu na se wa mo number wontumi enkwa na ne osusu ye boapa ye kwan a aban pese ofa so na enipa wo munya free SHS so ofa so no wote so na wodi dwonku free SHS no ana chesa afei wodi aka gu fom wodi agu free SHS no kram wani PC se kasa no say the aban dia back cut off system yes won so hwe akokọ ye modern bo na ankwa akodu susudua bia yemfa se kona kokọ to adesua so no eye boapa ye kwan a osusa ban yi pese ofa so na free SHS no wo fa eno so synchrophobia bi kwan se nipa dodo enya emu chefa.
National Education Forum President Mahama Apau Abjaku and Satra Bakom the Abetuja of Free SHS Moon say, at the cut-off point as Samba Secondary School, Akaneno, Ocho BC, we are when you're a certain aggregator, won't mean to also encore SHS. Normal over 150,000 students every year piano. Now all papers for better also. And now NDC for cut off a hontino. Or meant to be antoaso. And no President Akufo-Addo free SHS by a big chance I cut off name. Almost sound the sa cut off number. A sa cut off no sound bad there. There's a barrier and no whatever better. Amma and Mofra in this case no over 250,000 crown one here. That cut off no be affect or more. Or we BC and can that's what Beko SSS no. Want to minko.
Wamano anso osaka say say sawosha ansa na free SHS neba fe 2012 ekosi afe 2016 no asugofo no matro BC na wie nenso saka tof de ye nti omanya mu kwan ankoto adesua so e wo senior high school no na wo mododo si wo ha aduonum empem wo ha aduonum 150,000 enti ana ode ka se cut off resa ba e be si dodo no akwan.
Between 2012 and 2016, before free SHS ever ban. Afibia, my friend do a BC. Nam cut off near that coincident to won't mean to us on secondary school. Afibia between 120,000 and 150,000. And Nuntino say what they saw a coincident as some baby at the cut off Bia Baby Rawa. And no Bema and Nea Mofrana swing. As it when you do another study, it will jump from that 150 to somewhere around 200,000 students. As a cut off number preventive estimated I won't drink money. No, one more accumulated to after about 10 years. As in crab 2 million. And President Mahama and sister ya Odibe, Ebabe Moma Kefi, and only the many and drink crab.
Onipo kasayi nano swafo abedi chire wo mesia onmunyanfo John in team for Joe Abdullahi Dasmani and nini di sa enkomui. Sigasemu nimdifo obroni be friend financial expert one Dr. Richmond etu ahene akasa dia for meyi car ye die titiru e construction ene energy FM hono a wo se kutia bank adwuma e wo my Ghana emum. Peace News ne Dr. Etu ahene di nkomo no cheche mu se sa wo hwe NDC abandada no kwoka oja ye ma MPP abandada no ene MPP abandada yi so kwoka o muso so agyade ama NDC aban foforo no a na nsem bebre dika wo se afi 2016 2017 na NDC ekwo edi tumi ma MPP no now a car o mine de contractor for 3.2 billion Ghana cedis. Na a car buying a day contractor for 3.2 billion Ghana cedis. Na enyina mo ahoden FM anaso yen ahode ne FM energy sector ho e council na 85 million US dollars. 85 million US dollars. Afi 2016 ayedira 2017 emu ama MPP agi tumi no ene amemwo no free NDC nsem. As was say a Dr. Ernest Addison now ya Governor Bank of Ghana wie na dwuma akurin. Afi 2025 video oja ye e wo office ye o minor car waja e wo office no. Contractor for de no a NDC eja MPP 3.2 billion Ghana no. MPP eja NDC 35 billion Ghana cedis se contractor for ka. Was said contractor for Femuka no a peja ehurikosra 35 billion Ghana cedis. No and Dr. Ernest Addison enkuntebu echere se waja ede ama abanfoforo no a wo mo abano. Na wukọ energy sector nyina mo ahoden sensem ene ahoden ne sensem fam ho no a ebra ndisi abandada no eja 85 million US dollars 85 million US dollars no abandada people aban ye kọ ye eja 3 billion US dollars e ho so de no wahum ama ayekokru 3 billion US dollars. Na wachira se we no e won sunsun so e de ma oman no e wa kwan bi so e kiremu ni bi eni.
Bitnya ka se Ghana banks no inyina ne nanso, especially the indigenous bank inyina ne nanso. Nti banks na ho de nkofom pa. The non-performing has gone up. Non-performing no na se kire na me be kire odi nti akoso. Emra NDC handing over Emma MPP 2016 eko 2017. Na contractors are yentua omaka na 3.2 billion. Na energy debt $800 billion. Enwa Addison eja banking ho amaye no. contractors ye ntua omka ye 35 billion. Energy ye 3 billion. Ukabuma nipa ye bank ne de omka banks de omka ye e kan ye 80 billion Ghana cedi. We nyina ye ade a ate say mimfa say konko a waboda ma ye de ahoma to ko. Your friend Albatross.
Yera Richmond etuahene amano anso ha wo kire se sede de wo kan sunsanso ebe wie no bank ebe hojo.
Regulator no ango obehwe say Bank of Ghana obehwe say ade we air cost no obepa asem bia kan osori ano akoka we are doing well the banking sector is well. The banking sector between a country already we use say Ghana banking sector it doesn't even exist. There exist 3 years 14 foreign banks no omo bank contract so be say omo be contract ni bia na ye donor support say bia DFDI and now say they need that for na de ekwan bia ba na so omo nya anu mu no omo call because only it omo ka because so koye OG Ghana government through Ministry of Finance Yentiawo so a sikari wango sesa se bi employers wango sesa na form osis koji free bank bosi enti be mama bank no bank ahodin so ahwa na faye nyeme ya maka kire we
Onipa yete ne ka say Dr. Richmond etuahene waye sika semu pensemmufuo George OSEI ene tintim semi baye ye gina so ahomeka sebo esu agyaboa fo krato madaroma meba sesia
ana ebo periperi de broni kan hardware no a e de na se woye na se woyam so atim so
wo be peki na farmer Martin Silver Salt akira kwan entem ehwie nsu agu glass mo ate Martin Silver Salt no ba ko ano na wo de agum
wo be hu se ehuru wa glass ni mu na wanom Martin Silver Salt ye won orange flavor ana ba ko so ye plain
wonumu a ho beto nemum edi na anu na ho ntowo a ko hu doctor
Amanfo the amoka kire Freddy's Corner home appliances ho no
or the aba Freddy's Corner Home Appliances Center.
Home appliances are eye papa bia ebi wo ho
brands ben Media, Samsung, Kaiwell, TCL,
TV, air conditioner, freezers, fridges, water dispensers any de keke ka ho nia wo benya good warranty dia ko Freddy's Corner Home Appliances okoko memle
CCTV a eboama monitor of properties and your business at anywhere in the world.
CCTV any da ho ewo detector clear pictures Wi-Fi connector utumi connect ma wo phone na monitor baby a wo wiase bia
Freddy's Corner Home Appliances abeka Freddy's Corner edwosu ahodo a oton phones ene ehun accessories no ho
0544 959195 ana 0207937323 ana so brokoko memle satellite in chehwa na ye can discount ene achadia obetiasie
Freddy's Corner
home of authentic home appliances, phones, and its accessories.
Amen. Yenim samu busasa ni je yase ne sei.
Asia ne se wo de amen ajanse ne ani awo herbal ayaresam bio na nkunimdie adasidie na asia ani abasobode nkoa. Apomdwemu ahoto a wo de abra manfo efiri yentri so ekosi ya na asia. Ehina yade sha amen hu ensaw yade. Wo de ne nro ni abefo efidie echi yade no kunu what time.
Amen e de herbal modern was signed in naturopathy and homeopathy kwan ekunye nyarewa.
Say sukuu fofri amanone besua ekwane a yade herbal say yade e wo amen
when you enti ena ye de anigye from say we pa wo yare bi hyehye wo ho ana yare bi abagye akonya wo nipadua mu a Allah shafi onyame ne yaresafo inshallah enyame adom a ayaresa beba
amen the free screen na hyehye so sadwe yo etifa ho jim na wo hwe free
amen wodome wo be old snake flat
ultra modern branch Waklagon Tema Road free 020-722-9505 and 0245-275254 Amen Scientific Herbal Hospital.
Tune it in, turn it up,
Peace FM,
and rip off the knob.
Medase afei amnone ensemnie. Ashan miensamu ena nipabonefo de atopa yi akwa ewo Israel mine kropon Tel Aviv emu wo mbro no ba kwa ne Bat Yam. Ama atopa ye no akasa nanso mpanifo ama ne boche se enye nipa eni na ewu se ye kasa de wo mo ho amane se edi ewu. Na ashan miensa bas miensa ena wo de sa atopa ye ne hyemu ekirei wo mo ehwehwehwehwe ye seche ye no wo mo hu se wasanso de sa atopa ye ne bia hyehye ashan afofo mienu emu ano de wo mutimi so ano sabaye a eno so empai anase ento enkonkodi ensamone ansa wei ama kwanto soafo Mary Regev wahye ewo Tel Aviv nrano ema wo mu gina ehyen bia se ye keteke se eye baase se eye fidie ben giwie mu de wo mu nyina gina ye ehwehwe mu ahunu se atopa yi anaso so bibi edi ewuo bi etiti se enim ansa na wo ma kwan ama ahyen atoa so edi wo mu edwuma eho amanebo wo de fa be fontentan wo ma kwan ye fa so to nkra x so na odi tudwa opani yi nanka wo kɔ ensahwe wo akɔ akodrumpo wo Morocco ya wo di dwuma so bi wo Morocco nanso de akɔ akɔbɛnti ama watwa so a wasan so ekɔ ninchi no akyerɛkyerɛ mu de akyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ kwan ye nipa bɔnefoɔ pɛsɛ wo mo fa so na saa brɛ kura no a adwobrɛw ɛho nsankaye ɛne nam kwan mu no wɔn yɛ bɔne editia Israel na Israel ɛma kwan ɛma obi ɛmfa wɔn sekan ɛnkɔ nkodwa nanka Maswafo Benjamin Netanyahu so ate asim sɛ wɔn ntena se ɛnyɛ nhwɛhan ɛno nti wahyɛ asogyafoɔ sɛ wɔn nti wɔn honhom wɔn nti nsi krom na baabi wɔn su sakrabirifo wɔn nya Israel fo mbedi wɔn bɔne hyɛ biara wɔn nkɔnu wɔn ase na wɔn ne wɔn mfa ɛmfe so kasebo no esi midin nana ya kunadu ensama de ba ye bi ene se apafo nhye mu ase omampani John Dramani Mahama fum akwa wo mu ne omo akwa kasa asra amenu nti adwumayefo akatua ntum wo hanche mu edu ene ye de ama wo mu sikasem wanim de fo kasa efe ka bandadane gya ye ne se de niema esai hoa ahwe yi a emwa na bank fo mpo wo mu gina amanabofo achi eho enso madu agiri mrahye bedwani esre se boko ene walewale nsem no amanwe ne bambo aso ye ne ma wona nyentintia wo mrahye bedwam no mo mfa ho asem da wona wo matimi atutu anamo ne yese fata ne bremu na enipa ewu e wo sansem ne mu no eto etwa ananso ano abrase Media Sidema J.A. Binding Company Limited or the bind stain remover and new bind 20 disinfectant. Bind stain remover and kumwa ya wo fie ho yi apopo breni ade me fie ho te kama. De dompe ni omumu amwe so new bind 20 disinfectant ni omo small. Our stores akese ne nketu amudru Melcom China Mall Shoprite Game Dreambell My 11 awenya bim. Wo mpotam ho no ma kiosk mu ho no ma na ma me no ye store no so ubenya bia to ho. 0243104883 0243104883 and 0541808096 Kivo Hot Pepper Mokusho Emoko samo abedwa hyehye na so de kakra bi na wohia woye noodles shito spaghetti for any ade ebe yo good pa etudu dwa so a na wakai Kivo medimafo e ba center se encheche omanfo nka nkere mo se wode ayaresa aba be people kwase my rent wo pa wo sisi ade stroke a ba obeboa wo Nemra ne Dr. Time daso 0244774282 0244774282 and 0500727215. Yeah, well, this way chocolate drink kokos won fa so kind. Anope de ohia ka ho a eni sushi. Me damu nyina ase e mammo eni tie.
Ghana Montie Ghana Montie Ghana Montie Ghana Montie
Ghana Montie Ghana Montie na mansanya so adawro kofiaman homene so ejiji tonton sansan e wo neat 100.9 FM
Ghana Montie Ghana Montie Ghana Montie Ghana Montie
Best Point Savings and Loans. Best Point Savings and Loans. Sika krabia. Womu jina womu na so pampe. Na awiye mre yi mu a. Wanhwe ya na sika krabia bi ede asokwaada na wachinchine nti. Ene sese wunya sika krabia bi ti se. Best Point Savings and Loans. Omuda so a eya adwumaden atoto sika sem amano awie peye. Na enhyehyɛ pa womu ewo mo customers ye. Eye bocho. Na foforo kra womu ede aba montin eye. Best Mobile Banking. Na kyerese bank no a na wo ye no wo phone no so mi o. Enu nti se si ade. Se yesa line tintintin anase wo se wadachi e wo sika krabia hode. Eni hobio na ani kasem mako e ka ho ne se. Wo betumi asend sika, asan agi sika e wo phone so. Wo betumi asan atua wo bills. Ebi etese DSTV, Go TV, Star Times, Empo electricity bill, any water bills in Yinano. Who bet me at your every phone no so wa bra wuti baby ejuju. Na who pay we edie na pay. Enunti, ye hear me say, ubebue account our Best Point Savings and Loans. Na who ria, na wa dial *277#. Na wo demukra. Washe, banking na ye for sanu. Ha, Best Point Savings and Loans. Ya makofa best mobile banking aba. Jimmy so say, wo phone ni wo sika suni.
Best Point Savings and Loans.
Best Point Savings and Loans.
Your dream, our business.
It is time again for the biggest roots reggae festival in Africa, Kuchoko Roots Festival. And coming all the way from Kingston, Jamaica, is Culture featuring Kenyatta Hill, alongside Dwayne Stevenson from Augustown. And of course, one George Nooks with all power. All the way from Ghana is your Kuchoko Roots Master, Black Rasta. Many more artists passing through non-stop. Saturday, 8th March 2025. Venue, La Pleasure Beach, Accra. Time, 12 noon till you drop. Rate, 50 Ghana cedis only. And as usual, there will be free cocoa, kulkuli, kose, and masa to break your fast and to put you in the spiritual mood. For more information, you contact 0244 499 461. Powered by Black and Tough and supported by National Youth Authority. Media partners, Peace FM, Needs FM, OK FM, UTV.
Best Point Savings and Loans susu scheme no boama adwumayfo siesi kan kakra edinya dwetire kese ewo dada anana wotwe kese adwumedie mu ye adwumayfo a yatete omo beba abeji osika no asemde ne say susu a wotunti wutimi gibusia mo ho prensa ensi ho ne wo fom na eye kokko kra se obenya bosia free yen ho koyen branch bia ben wo na kwaje wo de. Best Point Savings and Loans, your dream, our business.
Nipa enyiro na nani ahode ebafo empo emabunu bi ebre ewonim nanso eni yade biara wo no mekanfo Optovision Eye Clinic ediamao. Optovision Eye Clinic provides diagnosis and world-class affordable treatment for all eye diseases, including glaucoma, cataract, and yadia would be. Dear Stronko Krani said, Optovision Eye Clinic were quality designer space. A hood will be fatal. Send you penny biara. It is a when you are. And answer when you are what you are from. And answer who person who are dear year. Unim baby as a sawoba. Optovision Eye Clinic.
Call us on 0553 270806 or WhatsApp on 0558 517556. Optovision Eye Clinic.
Hey, catch it. Listen in here. And you ma beto to dia me baba no hwade no. Twem so betumi a. Hey, asew. Hey, now beka. Ya John to mami ensa duku portmanteau. This way chocolate drink. Na kan wo hwe afibia so beri ni waware ne a. This way chocolate drink. Na kan sia. Oh, asew. Wo den kan no ntumu ho. Me be mo anu nsu wo hye kura dia ka ho. Wo hwade a wapi ho. O ka sa batete e da fom ho.
This way chocolate drink.
Crash up a baba worry.
Aso.
Ye fear said this way chocolate drink, ya sorry, no pan on yenum. Ye bishop free gymnum no snack. Ye nya ho ho anu ye de serve wo mo. Ye did really a pebibia bogu ya de so a. This way chocolate drink in yenum. And this one what ya no a. He se kire wom, koko wom, prick wom, bibia wom. Ade wo hia ni so se.
This way chocolate drink.
De wo hia ani so se.
FDA ahwe se adwede nkratoe mo agye atum se eye.
Cool, fresh and trendy with a new look. Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe. Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Ain't gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you flow. Anytime, anywhere. Specialized feel different.
natural mineral water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Ghana Muntie, Naman Sanyason, at the Roko Fiaman Woman so Ejiji Tonton Sansain, Ewo Neat 100.9 FM.
Ghana Muntie, 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 Ghana Muntie.
Of the parliamentary election results, but opened his phone. He opened his phone in court to say that in open court and to read an online news portal and press conference claiming to have been organized by Dr. Bosman Asari and urged on the court that the results of the Akwatia parliamentary election had been gazetted by the Electoral Commission of Ghana when same was halfway untrue. It must be pointed out that on the 5th of January 2025, when counsel for Henry Boachiyadon was arguing in the court that the parliamentary results for Akwatia constituency had been gazetted, he was in fact misleading the judge, who obviously, because he was also dealing with his.
When I look at my life, when I
Apologies you were given, decided not to pay a listening ear to the counsel for the Honorable Ernest Kumi. The judge failed to listen to Ernest Kumi's counsel, and he proceeded to only listen to Honorable Henry Boachiyadon's counsel, who obviously gave him a misleading information. And this is what we captured, that he was in fact misleading the judge because it is public knowledge that the parliamentary results in Akwatia constituency was gazetted on the 6th of January 2025. And same can be found in the Ghana Gazette dated 6 January 2025 at page 8093 with Honorable Ernest Yakumi declared as the winner with 19,269 votes, representing 52.83%, and Honorable Boachiyadon obtaining 17,206 votes, representing 47.17%. Friends of the press, in a ruling delivered by His Lordship Justice Emmanuel Senyo Amedaha on the morning of 6 January 2025, the following is what His Lordship Justice Emmanuel Amedaha stated on the question of jurisdiction to entertain this election petition. And this is captured in pages 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the ruling. And I quote, essentially, the applicant through his counsel is saying that the statutory law, that is PNBC Law 284, on which the first respondent herein mounted a substantive action, particularly section 18 of that act, expressly provides that an election petition must be brought within 21 days after the publication in the Gazette of the results of the election. It is the case of the applicant herein that the results of the parliamentary election results for the Akwatia constituency in the just ended December 7th election have not been published in the Gazette household. Hence, the action on which the interim injunction, was based had not accrued, the applicant is basically challenging the jurisdiction of the court to hear the matter, and rightly so. Counsel for both parties relied on the decision in the Republic versus High Court, Kufridia ex-party Dr. Kofi Asari, Baba Jamal, Muhammad Ahmed, and others, first interested party, and the decision in the case of the Republic versus High Court Judge Sunyani ex-party Alhaji Collins Dauda, who was the applicant then, and Yawati, interested party. Citing the decisions of these two cases, counsel for the applicant hearing submitted that the course of action, of the respondent had not accrued for him to file an election petition, for which he obtained an interim restraining order from this court. Coincidentally, in that particular issue, it is the argument of counsel for the applicant that the results of the Akwetia constituency has not been gazetted. The jurisdiction of a court to hear a matter is trite, fundamental and non-negotiable in any jurisprudence, especially in Ghana. It is elementary that parliamentary election petitions are primarily cognizable by the High Court as original actions. It is important to note that this distinct jurisdiction of the High Court in election petitions is only properly evoked within 21 days after the publication in the Gazette of the election results. This is stated in Section 18 of the PNDC Law 284 and explained extensively in the ex-party Baba Jamal case, Supra. This was rightly pointed out by counsel for the applicants. But what did the judge do? In the face of all of this, the judge decided to go ahead. Despite the assertion of the applicant that the winner of the Akwetia constituency has not been gazetted, the first respondents' counsel states in his submission that the Electoral Commission, in a press conference held in Accra on the 25th of December 2024, announced that it had gazetted parliamentary election results for 274 constituencies. This information can be found on the official website of the Ghana News Agency, the official state news agency, under the heading EC Gazettes 274 parliamentary election results, 2 constituencies outstanding. The publication by Ghana News Agency mentioned the official of the EC who held the conference as Dr. Bosman Asari, a deputy commissioner of the EC in charge of corporate services. At the press conference, the deputy commissioner informed the press that the results of 274 constituencies had been gazetted. Dr. Bosman Asari, in the press release, expressly affirmed that only the election results of Domiko Abenya and Ablekmanot constituencies were outstanding and yet to be gazetted. He also assured Ghanaians that the Commission would finalize the results of these 2 constituencies before swearing in of the 9th Parliament on 7 January 2025. This news item on the website of the Ghana News Agency, which is the state official news agency, cannot be misleading. I have no reason to doubt the Ghana News Agency news item that the 274 elected parliamentarians were gazetted on the 25th of December 2025, which obviously was not the case. Further, this press conference and its subsequent reportage give credence to the fact that election results of Akwetia constituency have been gazetted because Dr. Bosman Asari could have made these assertions after gazetting in line with Regulation 49 of CI 127. Regulations 46 of CI 15 provides as follows. When any matter is provided in the instrument to be published in the Gazette, it may, in lieu of or in addition to the publication of the Gazette, be published through radio, television, the national newspaper, or any medium of mass communication. From the above, the press held by the Deputy Commissioner on 25th December 2024, where he announced that 274 constituencies had been gazetted by the Commission, is as good as citing the Gazette itself. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, let me first of all state that the Regulation 46 of CI 15, referred to supra, is a repealed legislation.
Most people are afraid.
Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie.
Ghana Montie Senior Bonit 100.9 na dia mutie yi press conference and minority for year and ra wo Ghana mrahye bedwafie ni nyina ne say akwatia mrahye bedwani a court de entansa ball no court na che ne contempt say wabu court na nimtia enu nti wo mo say issue arrest warrant say yenche no enra ko parliament mo mbado bi anche no eno wonsem na minority for egusu anomo ye ho press conference eti ensam ni bi ene ensam ahodo egu apono so na no pay ye ba behwe ye mo akwa ba de ba Ghana Montie so di 100.9 da obon krata no wa ha o man panyin cabinet ne so mebobbo so na me de amawo ena no ache ne so no enra eyade a eye president na muhia Ghana adwumayefo nkabo mu kompanyifo yi ena ode to wo manim akatuantu mu 10% ono me de ama ban adwumayefo the no president can say Nanado Nagwaguvan Nabai they criminally mishandled Ghana's economy. And as you better Munsem, yet here am a minority for and some okay.
For Henry Boitiano decided to rely on is a repealed legislation. That is the regulation 46 of CI 15 referred to supra is a repealed legislation. The law in force regulating parliamentary and presidential elections in Ghana is the Public Election Regulation 2020 CI 127. In the absence of evidence before the judge, His Lordship Justice Emmanuel Senyo, we find it intriguing how he concluded that the press conference organized by Dr. Osman Asari on the 25th December 2024, where he announced that 274 constituencies had been gazetted by the Electoral Commission, is as good as citing the Gazette itself. This was not grounded. This is because whether election results have been gazetted or not is a matter to be proven by positive evidence and not gleaned from an online publication or news portal. It must be pointed out that Judge Emmanuel Senyo agreed with counsel for Honorable Ernest Yaokumi that the jurisdiction of the High Court can only be properly invoked within 21 days after the publication in the Gazette of the election results. So, on what basis did he proceed then to hear the matter when the results were not gazetted as at 5th of January 2025? And we need His Lordship the Judge to answer to this. In fact, he had made an order for interim injunction when the court did not have the jurisdiction to make the said order. Because he himself agreed with the counsel for Ernest Kumi that the jurisdiction of the High Court can only be properly invoked within 21 days. And that is our matter. That days after the publication in the Gazette of the election results, and page 5 of the ruling dated 6 January 2025 refers. It is only on the back of this ruling, that 6 January 2025, that the learned High Court Judge, Justice Emmanuel Senyo Amedeha, had sought to convict our Honorable Member of Parliament for Akwitia and friend, Ernest Yaokumi, for contempt of court. Ladies and gentlemen, the desperation of the judge, of the learned judge, to at all costs convict Honorable Ernest Yaokumi is captured in the events after the delivery of this ruling. And let me just share with you a few. On the 8th of January 2025, an Eskume filed an application for certiorari and prohibition at the Supreme Court, seeking to quash the election petition filed at the High Court on December 31st, 2024, along with all related proceedings on grounds of lack of jurisdiction, and to prohibit the presiding judge from further hearing the case before him. Obviously, you know what will happen. The application for certiorari and prohibition was served on the registrar of the court, Mr. Anthony Atachi, on the 24th of January 2025. The affidavits of shared service show that all the parties, including the judge, who is the respondent in this application for certiorari and prohibition, had been served with the said application. Yet the said judge, His Lordship Justice Senior Amedehe, did not stop but went ahead or proceeded to hear the case before him. Another application for stay of proceedings was filed at the Supreme Court, and the Registrar of the High Court, number 3, Kufredia, was also served with this application. On the 12th of February 2025, but His Lordship Justice Senior Amedehe, in his usual style, did not stop hearing the case to allow the Supreme Court to determine the merits or otherwise of this application for certiorari and prohibition against him. He went ahead to determine the matter. On the 11th of February 2025, an application to set aside parliamentary election petition filed on the 31st December 2024, and an order for interim injunction, order for substituted service, was granted on the 22nd January 2025, and a motion for committal for contempt filed on the 13th January 2025 for lack of jurisdiction within a return date of 26th February, and that is just a few days away, was filed at the registry of the High Court, number 3, Kufredia, but as usual, Justice Senior Amedehe decided not to wait to hear the merits of this application before him. The question is, what is the interest of the judge? What is the interest of His Lordship Justice Emmanuel Senior Amedehe in this case? Is he doing a bidding for somebody at all? Are we not now dealing with proceedings when it has to do with election petition? The judge, His Lordship Justice Senior Amedehe, once again ignored the processes properly filed before him, and which same were also served on his docket, and proceeded to deal with the issue of contempt. On the 24th January 2025, Honorable N.S. Yakumi, given the conduct of the judge, His Lordship Justice Emmanuel Senior Amedehe, filed an application for him to recuse himself on the grounds of bias and prejudice, but he refused to recuse himself. And this normally would not happen. The question any reasonable mind would ask is, what is the interest of the judge in the matter before him? That all these applications had been filed at the Supreme Court, including a certiorari, including a stay, and including our application for him to recuse himself. But evidence abound that Justice Senior Amedehe decided to proceed with alacrity.
Sure.
Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie.
Minority are still worried. At worst, there is a pending application seeking to house the jurisdiction of the court, including the very contempt application before him on his docket, which is yet to be moved on the 26th of February 2025. It is mind-boggling that while the learned judge did not want to wait to hear the propriety of this application, since this was challenging the foundation of the petition before him, including all the processes and the others made pursuant to the filing of the Parliamentary election petition on 31st December 2024. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, it would interest you to know that on the 18th February 2025, Honorable Ernest Yakumi caused to be filed a motion on notice to arrest the ruling of the judge on the contempt application, but as usual, and in the normal grand style of Justice Senor Amedehe,
very biased judge,
he decided to show his biasness again. He decided to ignore the application that was pending before the Supreme Court, and for which he had also been handed a copy. In fact, one copy was on his docket. He, in his grand style, decided to go ahead. Interestingly, this is Justice Senor Amedehe, who at countless moments has thrown the law to the back burner. Interestingly, again, this is the same lawyer who had been attending court and has been filing processes and receiving processes emanating from the registry of the same court. It is doubtful why a court would refuse to hear a lawyer in a contempt matter, because when you even go to the contempt matter, the usual posture of Justice Senor Amedehe was to ignore the counsel for Honorable Ernest Yakumi. And how is it, can one even phantom this in a criminal jurisprudence? That a lawyer, for someone you are accusing for a certain crime, is there to represent the person, in the person of Ernest Yakumi, and the judge ignored the submissions of the lawyer and proceeded to give a ruling. At this stage, let me state that a contempt matter is a quasi-criminal matter, claiming that the lawyer should have filed an appearance. When somebody came to you earlier, you allowed the person to open the phone to give you details of a certain WhatsApp or a certain publication. But a lawyer comes to stand in for a client in a contempt matter. You are asking the lawyer to file an appearance in a quasi-criminal matter. Hey, Justice Senor Amedehe. At this stage, let me state further that legal steps have been taken. A notice of appeal has been filed against the ruling of the High Court at the Court of Appeal. An application for stay of execution pending appeal has also been filed at the High Court, number 3, Kuforidia. Moreover, all the parties to the certiorari and prohibition application, including the judge, His Lordship Justice Emmanuel Senor Amedehe, who is the respondent to this application before the Supreme Court, have been duly served. Further legal steps would be taken, and the minority caucus in Parliament will abreast the Ghanaian public on the way forward. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, Ghana's democracy thrives on fairness, the rule of law, and the principles of justice. The actions taken against Honorable Ernest Yakumi threaten not only his rights, but also the very foundation of our democratic processes and principles. The judicial system must not be weaponized to serve partisan interest or undermine the will of the people of Akwetia. We call on all well-meaning Ghanaians, civil society organizations, and the relevant authorities to ensure that justice prevails. The law must be applied fairly, and due process must be respected. Any attempt to subvert the democratic will of the people through judicial overreach must be resisted. Ghana's democracy is bigger than any individual or institution. It is our collective duty to safeguard it. Thank you very much, and God bless us all. Thank you. Leader.
Okay, abusia be pacho ani ameboma wono said the midi kan ye no. The minority caucus omo Ghana mrache bedwafie. Wo mo ye press conference ni nyina ne se wo hwe videos na wotum se wo megina ho nyina ye first time MPs. First timers no. Wo mo no mo gina mu ede ma wo mo nua next yakome. Akwati MP ono so ye first timer. Enam say ye Kofrodua High Court at the contempt case abono. At the same time, I say issue arrest warrant so omo koche no. Then no na one be press conference omo chire mu. Processes agodo a eko mu. Na me baby I'm a bit amazed and say one more chire say judge no bias. Judge o tire mu di asame bias ne political interest and saying hey says here MPP muko opposition cheyo masha say bo judge for kwadu say judge ni akasa judge ni kasa wi a wo say owo political interest judge ni ekasa na ya target no say our interest your position consistent your position very consistent benim the enti amayofo ese mo opposition amunyi obi ani on sesi ayo sesi ya mo opposition e judgment ba ku free Kofrodua High Court ba ya mo say judge no interest bi political interest bi nti eno ayesa Bebacho yebeka ye ho a ansa na mrache bedwafo yi bomo babe am swearing in ye nyina ye hwe say the clerk of parliament and di no na mepe ono no di kan ti na dwom say dia na mra ne se no already contempt case ana injunction na every Kofrodua High Court okay kan wi na dia no wura fanyo ma kan or say they will bear the consequence. They will bear all the consequences. Audio no ha mebo ma watibi. The course so sabrina na wo mo ba be MP swearing in. Na ne adena ba beto dwafe mo se judge ne ye bias. Okay. Oya bias there no press conference near the address the biasness of the judge. Eje wo file appeal now ko prove ho say ampa judge no anye ne no ma yie. Etampani ampa yes wo ma file appeal. Na me dia make and say amanyofo yi moko opposition a asa dia bibi beto wa munjindi mo opposition a na ye bibi ho mo ba ba mu amokasa different I say more history there we are very happy very excited say we are part of this history ete wopa obetimi a check owura jechi kwesi ntama ne de ne ba ye no ensemben na woman na wa bem den no moka ensemben na woman na wo position den no moka enei ns ya komedia na beto hwei ensemben na woman ba bem mo ba beka na ensemben no mo position ezo moka ebia ne press conference wo mo se judge ni a wotu na dwom judge ni a wotu na dwom wo ya bias interest be na wo o judgment ni nyina judge ni we interest hey but well about say ya be can say ya na won so wo de akwa adwedwen mu na won say de ya amanyo asem ne fa na won say de ya amanyo asem no say de ya ne fa enti eno ne ye ofa edikan yanko ofa etoso mienu eno so aben bi obeba bia aben bia sesa da bia ban ne so ba on betuska Oman Penyin John Dramani Mahama or say Nanado Danko Akufuado they criminally mishandled Ghana's economy. Yet is our kind. Some of the two Janani. A brown Ghana Juma for Kabum companion for Ishiaye. I get 2 more 10% a course. The JD American you. Yet,
Comrades, you know we are your natural allies and we've worked together for many years. One thing that is a cardinal principle for us is to tell the truth at all times. We all knew the economy was in crisis. But some of the things I'm discovering myself, I mean, it's been a criminal handling of our economy. And Ghana is a crime scene, actually, because how a government can have been so reckless, I cannot understand. But we're faced with a reality, and our options are very few. We can behave like the ostrich and hide our heads in the sand and let the economy crash. But then what effect would it have on Ghanaian households and everybody? And so I've told him, I said, cut expenditure as much as you like. Even we ourselves in Office of Government Machinery cut as much of our budget as you like, because we all must make those sacrifices. A certain distrust of the political class has arisen, because it's like when everybody else is tightening their belts, the political class is loosening its belts. But I want to assure you that we're all going to tighten our belts, and there will be no wasteful expenditure. It is said that we create and share. And so let's start cooking the meal now, so that we can share when we have created. But right now, the meal is not only insufficient, the cooking pot is even leaking. And so I'll just appeal to you that let's temper our demands for this year. And once we get out of the woods, we've set good targets to bring inflation down so that the cost of everything will come down. We've set targets to grow the economy, to make things better. And when the cake is baked and it's bigger, we'll share bigger. We are proposing an independent emoluments committee that would set the incomes for everybody from the president right down to the ordinary laborer. We're prepared to walk this journey with you, but I just appeal to you that let's reach agreement on this one, so that we use this year as the year of correction. And then after we've corrected, we'll see how the economy continues to go. Once the economy moves in the direction that we are all hoping for, we all, if we have an independent emoluments committee, maybe if you suggest 35%, I'll support you, because it will affect my pay too.
Mr. Speaker, in this House, we have different people with different backgrounds. In this chamber, myself and Honorable Gisela Aguchi Tete are the only architects in this House. If a colleague gets up and makes a statement, of course, if I make a statement which is borders on law and is completely inappropriate, you expect that the lawyers here ought to correct me. There's something that the respected minority leader said, that he's building a 150-bed children's hospital. Mr. Speaker, a lot of people make this mistake. It's not his fault. And this is the reason. Mr. Speaker, in our country, by the health planning standards, district hospitals are facilities with beds 60 to 120. When it gets to 120 to 400, it's a regional hospital. The fact that you can fit 100 beds into this chamber doesn't make it a district hospital. So it is important that when we are making interventions, and indeed, Mr. Speaker, the interventions of the minority leader in terms of provision of healthcare facilities is known, and colleagues have done that. But, for instance, to build a district hospital, even for 60 beds, you are getting close to almost $19 million. And it comes with 20 different departments. So when you are speaking in Parliament to make this statement and we let it go, somebody will hear that MPs are capable of building district hospitals. Why is the other MP not be able to build it? So it's important we make this. So my point is that if it will be good if the health minister, who is one of us, can one day take the opportunity to come and read out to us what are the standards of a cheap compound, a health facility, a polyclinic, a district hospital and a regional hospital. It will guide us. So when we are making the interventions, we just don't say that I build a space that can take 100 beds, so I build a district hospital. Because it's not as simple as that.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank Honorable Kwame Abuja for his intervention and putting the matter in the professional perspective. I don't just speak. That children's hospital, I would want to have an hour ride with you to Winneba. Winneba is just 45 minutes drive from Accra. No, at least we'll get a dispatch. He has a dispatch rider. So we can take 45 minutes. Don't worry, Yusuf don't have a dispatch rider. It's okay. I have one. We'll go with mine. Mr. Speaker, 45 minutes, you can go and see for yourself what is happening at Jane Jazzy in Winneba. Mr. Speaker, I am not making a submission on the House floor out of ignorance. The professionals have indeed determined the capacity of the facility. It is not just a primary facility, it is a secondary facility. So, Mr. Speaker, I know what I am saying, that it is a 150-bed children's hospital, and it is coming from the professionals. So, Mr. Speaker, I think that clarification has to be emphasized so that he knows that indeed it is not just a district facility that I'm referring to. If it were to be a healthcare center, I would say that it's a healthcare center or a CHIPS. It is not. And it is not.
Honorable Majority Leader, he is a minority leader. He is raising a second part of the problem.
Okay. Enti yankwa amano so na ye lawyer Gary Nimakon or your director of legal affairs said the new patriotic party. Yano ni nkomo fa eye akwatia ensensemi aba betodwen. Lawyer Martin. Me ba cho nyankopan dom na wo so e.
Bia boko.
Ye de nyankopan ase. Oh, nyame adom eja woti yen kan sa biri de na eja. Ye gran kakra akra.
Na a friend is others na me issue na ya tell for so.
Aniti meye ho adwuma na me pon ya na kire se na ma phone me ho na ba bia o se bia bia o se bia me pon 10:30 na bisu call bisu. Okay.
I got here and said, I haven't commented on it. But what I may say is public education.
Yeah.
The public education, they are American horse.
Okay. Enti what they
Any kind and come
yo.
The phone.
My fa.
Number PABC law 284. But the public in the whole year.
Okay.
No was about Article 99 of the 1992 Constitution.
Enti PNDC law 284.
The second reference should be made to section 16 and 18. Section 16 and 18 of the law.
Okay. Yeah, section 16.
Yeah.
And 18. Yo. Hello, I'm back on me about okay, but section 16. Section 16 is
they will decide for themselves. Say the course or court one. Say yeah, on better. Say yeah, on my better. Me can't 16 again.
Okay, section 16 is methods of questioning election. No. The validity of an election to Parliament may be questioned only by a petition brought under this part. And to say, every election petition shall be presented before the High Court for hearing. Bebacho the canon.
Maybe 18.
Okay. Bebacho Samiko 18.1 now. Or say an election petition shall be presented within 21 days after the date of the publication in the Gazette of the results of the election to which it relates, except that a petition questioning an election on an allegation of corrupt practice and specifically alleging a payment of money or other award to have been made by the person whose elections is questioned or to have been made on his behalf to his knowledge may be presented within 21 days after the date of the alleged payment.
Okay. Just more kind would be more. But just say election you could talk about now if we say about what you know. Wouldn't hear here. Parliamentary non tears here. I was within 21 days. Gazette no. Abano. The Gazette no. East no Gazette no. Gazette here. Public document. A public document. And now the shame pass. So when electoral commission for a Gazette now, then you can file a petition to challenge the results within 21 days upon publication of the Gazette. And unless your petition relates to a corrupt parties, and now there's cheating, you're not cheating, and not there, you can bring it also 21 days while we're aware of them said corrupt practice. And also no, also train and my declare results no grounds concern what me is idea. I did see a quotia constituency on 31st December 2024. And NDC parliamentary candidate file election petition at the High Court of Florida. Or file 17 you welcome me 17 on the same 31st December 2024 and will file motion ex parte. Motion ex parte I just say I don't want 17 on quite a court could say ye injunction no Manenko Parliament. On 2nd of January 2025, and I will move a motion ex parte. Say, Member of Parliament elect, we welcome court no an injunction by way of interim injunction. Manenko Parliament. And now on 2nd of January, without notice to him, William Moshe court no presided over by Justice Emmanuel Senor Amedehe, a grantee application for interim injunction against Yewakumi, say Emmanuel Enko Parliament. In Saka Yena Peno or Dame Peno. And now almost every Yewakumi on WhatsApp, say they are going to court on his blind side. I could obtain order for interim injunction against him on the 2nd of January 2025. Mr. Kayano, what's happening? No, the bar office. And I'm saying, the bar is saying now, will be a coalition. No one winning. No one winning, you know. One train by the gazette. Now, Uncle file a petition. Because I'm now can and man say, I was out training. Not gazette, no. You publish it, we are. Then within 21 days of publication, we can challenge the results in the High Court. Maybe go to Article 99 and read it to your public.
1992 Constitution, Article 99. Okay. Mepacho, mame enrolli wahana. Oh, yeah. Say,
the public no, and the public will pass judgment for themselves. Me comment you we say you, I'm running boy home by my mono. I'm running become a public in the
Article 99 of the 1992 Constitution. On said the High Court shall have jurisdiction to hear and determine any question whether a person has been validly elected as a member of Parliament or the seat of a member has become vacant. Or say High Court no ebetimi etie asema efa eye de kan say ye obi pan papa so oye mrahye bedwani ana say akonya na dampan.
It's the High Court no jurisdiction. There's a 2 year court beti asem no mebo ana. Na 2 year na court beti asem no. E dey na section 18 kan wasem. 2 year no, I say obetime tie emre be ya.
O say obetime tie ebra ko nipa no yato abayi no kwan papa so. Ana say na konya na dampan.
Very good. Now time now court betime tie no. Time no year only when the results have been gazetted by the Electoral Commission. Only when results must be gazetted, and then 21 days you can now file an election petition. That is the law, and this is the case. NDC MP former MP I call court on 31st December 2024. The results were gazetted on 6th January 2025. Let me repeat. The NDC MP, former MP, went to court on 31st December 2024. The Electoral Commission gazetted the results of the parliamentary elections in Nigeria on 6th January 2025. asɛm wei he deɛ ka no
Enti law
na
say
on the 2nd of January, when the results were still not gazetted, the High Court judge was order for interim injunction. May I buy him catch out say, I didn't know they are premature because the petition I will tell him no. And then some file because the results are not yet gazetted. Until I didn't to go. More than to go. The petition to go. No one train. The gazetted results now, they can now come back and come and file. Now lawyer near or no NDC former MP no. One file for the position. No one be in the phone in open court. Kind say a friend is saying Dr. Bosman Sari at a press conference on 25th of December 2024. I can say EC Advertisements 274 results, and so therefore there is a gazette. Now, Mr. O said gazette once a month. Is it about go of press conference or news portal? Now, Judge, say what taking notice of online news now. Boss myself here, you know. I don't know. It is as good as citing the gazette itself. It is as good as citing the gazette itself. Into Montu. Subsequently, we went to the court and then showed him now that what should I say? The gazette, you know. And I omay you. It was done on the 6th of January. So clearly, no need to me be to make any order for injunction. We need to be to even take the application because the matter was premature. One tear was say it is as good as the gazette itself. I didn't the gazette no. Gazette is a matter of fact. Gazette say who publishing one man, that publishing. But they are not the present one and many of them are more. According to the proper gazette, they will give it to you. It's public knowledge. It was done on 6th of January 2025. So when the judge makes an order on 2nd January, let's do the jurisdiction on TSA. The Supreme Court. You have filed an application for sexual right and prohibition. So Supreme Court ain't charge the way you need. No, some fatabon toso. So some no, because you are acting without jurisdiction. Who need to me the oil and away no tijai. May I best say who I will court jai as you was jai. Never file application for stay or proceedings at the Supreme Court. Never say who say the oil or court or no jai. What you need to me was one jai. Never file application for stay. I will not go on the court on was one jai. Yeah, file application. I want to name. Say, petition now won't say no. I know, I'm not filing no. Time also on filing. And you know, some petition need to meet you. A BM, the side of to BM say, oh, that's the way you know. Chem, a BM, I'm not contempt or court war. And also, Chem, because the now is funded on the petition. Now, they will say, you know, I had 26th of this month. I say back court. Yeah, back na some because assembly goes to jurisdiction. It goes to jurisdiction, and jurisdiction is fundamental. It is fundamental. A court cannot ask without jurisdiction. It is fundamental. Not on our blind side. No more move application for contempt. We should move. We be able to go to jurisdiction. No, we need jurisdiction. No one here contempt application. Now our journey to a friend say 19th so we ruling. Well, brother William said there's a motion pending before you on 26th to clear all these applications before you say, or we need to me say obeti assembly or court because the jurisdiction. Because at the time for petition, no, 31st, no, They couldn't afford petition because the gazette was done on the 6th of January 2025. Now, what I need to 19 say, we're not ruling. No, we are for contempt of court. Meanwhile, when application is pending before you, I bet you say, we need to me. What train here no answer? What determine say, what to me? Only to me. A court cannot act without jurisdiction. In any event, case to the Supreme Court, I can say, they won't in no, and yet, I know what Supreme Court in this idea. Now, the Antia, I'm a Supreme Court. And in Tiabu, I'm a Supreme Court. A High Court judge. Sabi, Supreme Court bad time. And also, Kasafana. As someone in say, oh, the owning, including prohibition, 70 the owning, that's a rule. You have been said, yet you are going on, doing what you are doing. Again, the man the oil. A dear interest now, case anymore. The most better say, Papa, the oil. You just say you are being prejudiced and you are being biased against this gentleman. As I'm not so, was me free so. Me free so. My transfer. I take case no. What is his interest in the case? Justice Emmanuel, what is his interest in this case? And I've told you the law. And I didn't make the law. I didn't make the law. The law is that you can file petition only when the results have been gazetted 21 days, within which you can do it. We had this but the petition filed after 6 January. My dear, there was a question, Mano.
Because said the work and the NHS petition, no file, one more file petition earlier than 6 January. But Lord, Mammy, Yantias you, it's not the whole party and say. Processes in the crowd, one more file, so one of the manson, a bet two, about one or so no. Legally in the NHS and funny poem.
Legally, absolutely wrong, and wrong. That is why we are before Supreme Court. That is why we are before Supreme Court. And we are telling you,
but sir, Etenesa, lawyer, Bebo, sir, Etenesa, about the saying a clerk of parliament on the eve of a year 7 January, Ebra Wamo prepare no ma swear in a yam Rashabeja already caught injunction. Or Rafael marking on the floor. Eka said they will bear the consequences.
Sir, Edikano.
Adena Okane, sir, because
Edikano. Clerk of Parliament, dear. Sabi, that's 7 with an order. It will be a breno. And the idea breno no on the foot of it, no what kind of breno. So what you say? And now, you have also a leader of a group. Well, let me. I will name say the judge in Ayano. I am but what me coming now court to our parliament when him the oil. Because talk of file petition on 31st December. That is also going to say, yeah. It's premature. Papa Jama cases, they are all there. The cases are all there. This party are sorry, they are all there. So you can't do that. You cannot file petition until the results have been gazetted. I'm not the one making the law. It's an established principle of law. Even a year 1 law student knows this law. A year 1 law student knows this law. The okay is here, you saw it. What say? You can file petition within 21 days after publication in the Gazette to the election release. Jerry, I'm asking you a question.
Never to David.
And now, what I can now with the Constitution is what I say you can check question validity of the results in the High Court. Now, a court, let's say, you're publishing Gazette now. How do you assume jurisdiction? So we take case now. How do you assume jurisdiction? If you are pushing your jurisdiction in the Supreme Court, I don't want to Supreme Court in this idea. What is your interest? What is your interest? I said, not to make a home. But also, I get a lot of public interest. And I'm telling you that the court is acting without jurisdiction. Without a court, you have without jurisdiction, you cannot do so. A court has to act with jurisdiction. If a court acts outside jurisdiction, you go to the Supreme Court to have it quashed and prohibit the judge from proceeding to hear the matter. That's what we have done. That's what we have done. And we are already before the Supreme Court. And you have been said. You have been said with all the processes. In fact, he is the respondent in the matter. The judge is the respondent in the matter. And he has to respond before Supreme Court. So what you hear them now? He should respond before Supreme Court. He should respond. What you are here? He should respond to our jurisdiction. Say no, what they are why you know. He should respond before Supreme Court. Yes. Because I'm telling you, until the Gazette is published, which is public document, no, you cannot file a election petition before any high court. That is the law. If you file before the Gazette notification or publication, the action is premature. That is the law. That is the law. And it cannot be changed because it's an extremist case. It can't be changed. It cannot be changed. That is the law. Simply that. It is the way you know, or to you know, and Yamra. And you always want to Supreme Court say, the oil and Yamra, and oil on the court. You should respond to the Supreme Court, said oil and Yamra, or he's a respondent in the matter. Now, Jawaba, will be for the contempt. We quit that criminal. I say, what is the one who says able to go? And then the petition and everything that's followed upon it. Also, tear on the transition, no. Where tear no answer. What possibility to hear whatever you have done. That notwithstanding, we come back before you. We file a motion to arrest your judgment or your ruling on the contempt on the 18th of February. We come before your 19th of February. Now, by our say, who Jimmy? Abaya, I didn't file appearance. Contempt application, which is crazy criminal, allows you file appearance to be heard in the matter. Now, which criminal case I could file appearance? Ask the lawyers, call the lawyers and ask them. Which criminal case I could do file appearance? Which criminal case and file appearance? It's a simple case. Criminal cases are treated as criminal cases because the punishment thereof is either a fine or imprisonment. Which lawyer filed appearance? What's it mean to you? We said, Mark, mean to you. We deny your hearing. Before you, and you are eager to read your ruling. Hey, they ever do not know. They ever do not know. They ever do not know. A criminal case. Which lawyer? When I feel you call the lawyers in Ghana and ask them. The criminal case when I go court or file appearance. I said I go court you. Ask the lawyers, they will tell you. What it mean to you? When the motion is pending before you, say, we are here to arrest your ruling. What it mean to you? Because one file appearance. But another lawyer, the NBC lawyer who was in court before you, who didn't even file affidavit of position in a civil matter, you allowed him to look on his phone, to read from his phone, say, was Masari at a press conference on 25th of December, say what Gazette. Even the story itself is to Gazette. The story itself is to Gazette. There is nothing in the story that's to Gazette. It's the headline and of picking here. And the judge says, the story is as good as seeing the Gazette itself. Hey, when the Gazette was done on the 6th of January, well, let's see how it goes. Let us see how it goes at the Supreme Court. Because I didn't make the law. The law was made by Parliament. The Constitution was made by the people of Ghana. In 1983. This is what guides all of us, our actions and our inactions. Okay? And it's very simple. A petition can be filed within 21 days upon the Gazette notification. Unless you are talking about exceptions. What is before the court is that they are challenging the results of the election in Akwatia constituency. And therefore, they should have filed a petition 21 days upon Gazette notification. The Gazette was done on 6th of January 2025. So that's before the court is premature. So the judge is acting without jurisdiction.
Lawyer, me pa show difference between na ewo any Ablekuma North di enemo.
Ablekuma North, a very simple matter. They were counting. I don't say only that one alone. Ablekuma North, the Chiman South, and all those things. You should add all of them together. They were counting, collecting results. Other results no collecting no. Young collecting anyway. And the court say with an application. Listen to me. Application for mandamus. Mandamus say adiana isi uyeno. Uyeno. Go and continue and complete. The results have not been declared by anybody. Go and continue and complete the collation and declare who has won and who has lost. That's application for mandamus. So if you say Capital Central, and the law, the CR 127 says that you have to put together a summation of all results from all police stations. Not some results from some police stations and you give the rest. No. All. And then declare who has won and who has lost. The reason is very simple. In parliamentary elections, no. We will say one vote can make somebody a winner or a loser because it is first past the post. First past the post. Because once Bakubinya abortion, one hour 1 year, it will be given free, not for being count. But what I say, that was a different application. That go and continue your work and complete your work. It wasn't an election petition. It was an election petition. It was a mandamus application. What this we are talking about here is an election petition. And you cannot file it until the results have been gazetted. Maybe I'm not here. I can from a picture. I said, but you know, all those people who are making mistakes in court and all those things, the Supreme Court settle all those matters. Yeah.
Someone. Okay. Lawyer. Show. Meba. Diana Bibisane say. Ayana we share minority for press conference accusing the judge by or your bias or political interest. Now I say all of a sudden, na me what challenge you if say judge ni akasa na a political matter na immediately ye bepa matade bi dia judge no. Say bibimpo na nko yi a aden say got to that extent. And this is full position, the same thing. Because TI, NPP, move position chair. And the way Koso. Yes, lawyer. Be an amendment to be BSA. Yeah, lawyer.
You see, the Obika Assembly, I also share all the circumstances. Training now. A dear by the Bettyama, a high court judge. I will tell you as a high court judge. In the bare face of the law. Obey me say. Let me take you to my Papana ruling on 6th January. When I said ombo a order to muno. No ombo a petition to muno. On one kasa at page 5 of the ruling. But what's the amount? What can't you go up for? Or what can I say? Justice Senor Emmanuel Medehe. What's it? What is the ruling? What's it? A friend say a jurisdiction, a fundamental. Now, a friend say, let's petition here. And original actions in the High Court. And it can only be done after the Gazette has been done within 21 days. Or what kind in the ruling? 25. And he agrees with me. Or say he agrees with me. Or say ask what about our counsel for the petitioner. Sorry. And for the applicant, Gary Nimakomaf. He put my name there too. In the ruling. That's what I'm arguing. However, Dr. Bosuma Asare, I had a press conference. I say, what got 274 constituencies. I don't know. Ghana news agency so application news item no. It's only a credible news portal. I don't know. It's as good as setting the Gazette itself. That's what he says. That is what he said. What to make a judge say these things? When you have not seen the Gazette, when the lawyer for the applicant, so a plaintiff or petitioner, didn't give you the Gazette to you. Huh? Because there was no Gazette at that time. There was none. There was no Gazette at that time. No 84, no money here. We didn't have it. They didn't have it. It was done on the 6th of January, 2025. Later, and he will say, I didn't know before the time in Yano. No watching. As you know, say, oh yes, what do you expect somebody to say about you?
Okay. Lana, Bepacho, who can say a contempt case, say court or no, at the contempt case, a bo obia. Does it make it fully criminal matter now?
It is quasi criminal.
Quasi criminal, good.
Criminal because the punishment thereof no, is either a fine or imprisonment. It's either a fine or imprisonment. And so you don't treat contempt matters as ordinary civil cases. It's not a civil case. And don't forget, Marjorie, this contempt arose out of the civil case. It arose out of the election petition. The petition that we are saying that is premature. The contempt arose out of that one. And there's a motion before you to set aside the petition, to set aside any order you have made, including the contempt application. Also, on the 26th and decide. One change. When you know very well, say, this application has a bearing on what is before you. I don't want change. My dear. If you are being fair to all parties before you, I don't want change. Because you must listen to this application to abide by whatever is before you, because they are saying that you don't have jurisdiction. You don't have jurisdiction. Because the petition was filed on 31st December, when the Gazette was not done. And everything that's founded on it, no, it should fall flat on its face. But then they go and call the other lawyers. I'm saying that a year one law student knows that this law exists. I'm telling you. And Mama can't actually what you for. I didn't put the tip by myself. If I'm saying, why can't you for no? And I can't you for. I can't you for. So now, no one actually. I'm with the manager, they know what is happening there. They will get by themselves. Yeah.
And anything a coba say, one more file a petition, no. The candidate and I say Ernest Yakumine mono decided say pay attention to it or because or bear the consequences.
Well, that's another matter for another day discussion. But the point is that, and I made the point again, the court had no business entertaining the petition because it was premature. The time it was filed, they couldn't file the petition because it was premature. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
So everything founded on the petition, it had to fall.
All right. Yeah, Kasenra, and as Yakumiko Parliament, Kram and Kasai. So it means, oh, Wakokasa, and then the crown, my baby bumper, my empty of when Wakokasa.
Another question.
Oh, when making statement of Parliament, I didn't say, wouldn't say, I'm a tear, only said, me can't say my no credit. When making statement, the floor of the house, and
you're a very fair person.
Yes. Inti nami bisa say with court no ruling with all the reservations say wo ho amaken. Enro call parliament or sign eco make statement. Na just still na court na no gusu bu na nimtia wo ana.
Ya chumaso. Maso yan twimi gusu chumaso. Ya chumaso.
Okay. Say ma file appeal na wia na.
That file appeal against the ruling of the court. And they file court of appeal. And they file stay of execution of the ruling he gave.
Yeah, but I'm aware so until say court in the back granted no, the earlier ruling still holds.
Which ruling?
Ruling a free a year Kofodia High Court by.
Technically, once you file a stay of execution, the court must hear that matter. In any event, when you give a ruling, there's an automatic freeze on it before. It doesn't start operating immediately.
It's next Yankumi Ecoso Parliament. On mu court in enumtia.
That's another day discussion.
Oh, thank you.
It's another day discussion.
Okay.
Yeah. Another day discussion. But Jerry, I said I restrain myself. I don't want to talk about it. Because no one has court no. Look, in another matter, in Suhum, before the same judge. And I don't understand why it's the same judge that you are putting ex parte application before. Suhum they put ex parte before the same judge. I was in the courtroom, and I mentioned, say, I hear the sacrifice no one in him. I think it's case being in him. I have been told. I picked my intelligence report. The case where they went in. And then call the case. Call the case and record me, say, say, I'm for case now. That's when they came as party. On the eve of swearing in, 6th of January, as party, against Potozua. My Jerry, we said no. I'm on notice. Not injunction, no, you may argue. Was it on TV because I'm not lawyer for Potozua? And I said, but they came as party. How can even Potozua be aware about this particular case? And they came as party, put them in the courtroom, no, and most say they're courtroom. So they should pick it on notice to Potozua. Also on TV, I said they may take away. They say, and they will say, they should make it on notice to Potozua. Now they didn't convince him, say, there's a gazette. And then they also didn't convince there's a gazette. That case and this case is the same. So whom they know anyway, they're the same. That one, he said they didn't convince you there's a gazette. But this one, there's a gazette. I mean, how? Sometimes they're very careful. And the rule is there. I'll forward it to you for you to see. That's for them now.
Never tomate.
No come with for you. What do you say? It's terrible. It's terrible. You're not fair. In just administration, no, Kuma. And yes, say, I'm not going to say, I now prefer a gift to be one man, whatever. Will be accused for you. I mean, I'll comment on it. But the wild behavior, no, will let people accuse you of something. Yes. How can anybody for petition before a court when there's an established principle? Baba Jama case, say you can't do it. Baba Jama of a case, before the court. Similar thing, I could see here. And now, Supreme Court, able to say that be assembly premature. For Baba Jama, was in the year, I will catch you. This is established practice. They can only for petition.
They working at the Bema High Court judge. When you know,
or respond to Supreme Court.
Okay.
Or respond to Supreme Court.
All right.
Not just Supreme Court. Say, maybe the Supreme Court crown, the Mukaya crown in all these cases, no. Maybe for the argument, maybe you might have a different president. High Court. Or she respond to Supreme Court. But he's a respondent in the case. He's a respondent in the Supreme Court case. He should respond to the Supreme Court.
And what did I come home?
No. He is a respondent.
Okay.
In the judicial application, you know.
Okay. All right. Okay.
What a respondent. So Kumi is the applicant, and he's a respondent.
All right.
So what do you say? He's a respondent. I'm a person that always want to hear. A person that always want to hear. But the final case on the 8th of January, 2025. A person that always want to hear. Yet he was going on in his court, doing whatever he likes in his court. Always want the Supreme Court. Not Supreme Court who say, the oil no ayamra.
Okay, Laura. Yeah, that's it. And a person here.
Bye bye.
Okay, then.
Okay, training.
Is yes. How can sound of Pebiano?
Yeah, the machine is 1 hour.
1 hour. Solid.
When you have not too much.
Okay.
Too much.
Okay.
Why?
Yo, where you are, Mefro. Bye. Okay, bye. Yene lawyer Gary Nimako, Director of Legal Affairs, said the man new Patriotic Party. Iti onwa ma making kan review. Let us say in the top of Bomramun who say Asemna Casa no net say na endru bra say dru the say kokodru ye. Yeah. Yanoma yanya lawyer for ne yeti ni si ane break it down. You try ne breaking it down na mo you nyina yenso yetimati ase. Be did say so ati ase akra. Eti yanhwe ye pe say ye ne the other side so kasa. Na ye fantu o mani mani bisa say what next? For my be channel 0201162746 0201162746 Ghana Montie Sune. Finance kwatio for suenra. Oye presser. That
I want to address relates to the reactivation of the sinking fund and honoring of Ghana's obligations to bondholders. 2 days ago, I issued a statement in which I conveyed news of a directive from President Mahama to the Ministry of Finance to take steps to settle maturing coupons of Ghanaian bondholders who suffered drastic haircuts under the domestic debt exchange program. So, on Tuesday, 17th February, Monday, 17th February, I beg your pardon, an amount of 6 billion Ghana cedis or so was paid to these bondholders. Now, subsequent to the announcement of these payments and the announcement that the sinking fund has been reactivated, we have had some rebuttals from the MPP, whose officials have claimed that we have been able to do that as a government only because they left some buffers, and that it is not because of any specific intervention from President Mahama. I wish to place on record that this narrative is untrue. For officials of the former government to be able to say that these payments and honoring of these obligations have been the outcome of work that they did, they need to point specifically where those buffers were located. Because in order to be able to pay the money, you need to find it and lodge it somewhere. That is what you call a buffer, pending payment at a given date. Now, what we call the sinking fund for short is actually known as the debt service reserve account. That is where money is kept pending the payment of bondholders and other creditors. Now, this debt service reserve account has a CD component and a dollar component. In other words, there are two accounts, one denominated in cedis, the other denominated in dollars. So because it is an account, it is possible to obtain a statement of account which shows you transactions over a certain period. So if the MPP officials are saying that we are able to pay these monies because they left money in the sinking fund, it should reflect when you take a cursory look at the statement of account. I have the statement of account before me. It is a voluminous document which shows all transactions that have occurred in the account over a certain period. Now, if you look at the dollar-denominated debt service reserve account, the records will show that the last time under the MPP, when there was a movement in the account, was 22nd October 2024. That was the last time that any money came in or left that account before the MPP left power. Now, if you check the balance in the account as of 24th October 22nd October 2024, it was $64,387. $64,387. We are talking about payments within the range of 6 billion Ghana cedis. And you and I know that $64,000 cannot amount to 6 billion Ghana cedis. Indeed, if you did a rough conversion using an exchange rate of 15 cedis, I'm sure you will get something in the region of about 800,000 Ghana cedis or so, if I'm not mistaken, or a little over 1 million Ghana cedis, if my mathematics is right. Now, on 31st January 2025, and everybody knows that on 31st January 2025, it was the NDC government that was in power, not so. An amount of $96,915,182 was lodged in the account by the finance minister. And it is clear where that money came from. It did not come from anything that the MPP had left in that account. Let me repeat it. The last time that there was any movement in the debt service recovery account, reserve account, I beg your pardon, under the MPP was 22nd October 2024. The balance on that day in the account was $64,387. The next time there was a movement was 31st January 2025.
Yeah, yeah. Chickadee, my boy. Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie.
Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie. Na mansanya so. Adawro Kofi Aman homene so ejiji tonton sansan ewo neat 100.9 FM
of $96,915,182 was made into the account in order to ensure that we are able to meet the obligation that arose on 18 February 2025. That is the payment of maturing coupons to bondholders. Now, if you look at the CD denominated debt service reserve account, you will find also that when the NDC took over on 7 January 2025, the last time that anything had happened in our account before the NPP left was 2nd January 2025. 2nd January 2025. The amount of money in the account on that date, 2nd January 2025, was 155,463,435 Ghana cedis. 155,463,435 Ghana cedis. Bear in mind that we are talking about payments in excess of 6 billion Ghana cedis. In addition to that, another 9 billion Ghana cedis is actually sitting in the fund as we speak to pay for maturing coupons in July and August. If you put it together, that is 15 billion Ghana cedis. Yet the balance when the MPP was leaving was 155 million Ghana cedis. So how could they possibly say that they were the ones who built the buffer? What kind of buffer is this? If you have obligations amounting to 15 billion Ghana cedis, is the buffer you need for that 155 million Ghana cedis? And if you check the statement of account, which I'm willing to show you, you will see movements of monies into the account starting from somewhere around 23rd January 2025 by this government. And that is the reason why we were able to honor the obligations that arose from the domestic debt exchange program. As I speak to you, as of yesterday, 17th February 2025, the balance in the account was 9,270,537,727.67 cedis. That is the balance, and this balance is there as a buffer against debt service obligations in July and August this year. So it is clear on the basis of available facts and evidence that the claim by members of the MPP administration, which just left power, that we are able to honor these obligations because of buffers they built, is completely untrue. So I will end here and take any questions that you may have. Thank you very much.
Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie,
Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie. Na mansanya so adawro Kofiaman homene so ejiji tonton sansan ewo neat 100.9 FM. Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie. Na mansanya so adawro Kofiaman homene so ejiji tonton sansan ewo neat 100.9 FM.
Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie.
Enti ya mwakwa de ba Ghana Montie so we 800.9. Na wofa Ghanaian Times animo. Abedwuma enfo eyade ane akatua ntumu ohamo nchichemu edu ena aben ediama abedwuma enfo. Omampanyin na kasa dia tum se esua. Na eso se no enam se abandada ana na dodan kwakufu adoda no ese no ama poto. Womode adwembone hye omutirim ehye da se no ama criminally mishandled. Eye Ghana isi kasem ni ntino. Womo enum nsuo ntwa ope. De etie bia no. Ye benu aduane ben a ye nyina ebedidi peche. Ye bedidi peche. Na wo hye Ghanaian Times anim hokro na nso a. Eyade aboku entokwasem ye ho ahia se enei eye owura Donatus Atanga Akamugiri Akamugiri oye Upper East Regional Minister odi atudwa se boku sensem no ete se ye bomoden na yetime ehwe because edi agu akra hwera na ehwere ye se ehwe eka ho asem aban na hyase so de nsem ode no amakodo egu fom se eye ensu yire a edi enya ewo nkramantem ebekofo over Ghanaian Times edaho Daily Guide watcha Dr. Mahamadu Baumia ni mfoni igba ha na waka kire omampanyen John Dramani Mahama se we ye agya o ye agya ma ye nyina ni nyina ne ye nipa bi a eho ahia se ye fa omadwumam aban no esusu se wo ma amfa kwan papa so ne fa asafo ni nti aban no asan gi wo madwuma de afiri wo musama no na Dr. Mahmoud Baumia se ya to aba ma so we ye Ghana agya nti ye agya ma ye nyina be father for all we Dr. Baumia na ekase na eya akwatia mrahye badwani ne ho nsem aba betodwa me ne lawyer Gary Nimakon edi ho komo no eno nso wo Daily Guide enima na Richard Ahiagba oye communication director de ma eye New Patriotic Party MPP on say stay and face accountability or catch MPP Moa yadi dibia hye amonsa no Richard Ahiagba se muntie montro manyu mu na mo bibi ni ese mbebu hu akonta de kire ese mbebu hu akonta na mo de kire pa enko akoba se wo yadi bibia hye wonsa o man bibi yadi hye wonsa na yato aba awie na waban ya lusu wo se me de me ko mi mu akonta hwe mu akonta na sika na de ma na e wo de a enye obotom sika o obotom sika kra na se wo ma no mo te kra o mbufu o metwe wagina o se da ebu akonta fa kire me sika no de Yankwa amane so na yene eye Bernard Bediakon Beidu. In fact, triple B BBB Bernard Bediakon Beidu. Oye Akwatia constituency secretary. Na osa lawyer ni. Enti Akwatia sense me NDC candidate no. Onu no ginam edemano. Bibi na say. Ibi akoye.
Oh, bibi aboko.
Ya me ase. O triple B si de enye easy. Okay. Na Bernard, edi na ekoso. Akwatia esensemi, wonso wo fam. Boy amane edi na ekoso.
Okay, me fa kwanya isunti out here funya. Akwatia nzam na etia enye asententen. Obi na pen ama asem na 1920. Now, year to abawi year 7 December. Kwan aba ne pa so for yen. Enti ase bi anya adwuma. Enti me client eye honorable Watiyado. Ona no ye mpisa bren. Ono aso me kina aye ema NDC amanyuko no. Oni ore ne skumi a ono so kina ma MPP amanyuko ne ko kono. Ora bi adombo ache ente no ho ase woni ama bi e for so. Na Ghana mra no e kire sese abatu mu nsensem se wonto ho ase a wontwiti wontwe sekan court na wasa woko na woko file petition ti o kache na chidifo ni aso bi enka na foma Anthony Ebda ni akoso a anko yie no de kwa na akọ nti me nso me lawyer ni aso no the assembly chairman and you file a petition on the 31st of December the file no and na ye day sabren on say na enche na ya swear in na ya announce nso say o read this be na ewi ni na so no be swear ni the injunction e kan ho and ye file wo court say court and restraining no na on friend who MP answer because see be the assembly be na if I say na break continue wo ka say wo pa for serve year parties ni nia wo be wie no ni aso enipa ni edi emrane my fine say ye bibi e friend interim injunction and no dia unko serve bi aso to be convince court na the better so answer na nipa procrat party is answer nipa no ye man akwanya ni nti na emrana ye say interim injunction na just for 10 days. Now, so repeat the application now. It should be on notice. No bekwa ko bona mane. No aba the kana. Bekwa ko 7. Inti sa na ye. Inti on the 2nd of January 2025 and a court a grant injunction, interim injunction no de maye. Yes, 2nd of January. Na ade change third no. Ya ko serve awareness na ade change third no so man lawyer Gary di Makon to be file yes. Interim injunction on the adwin na ya man of my paso into court entry and something and I call court Chief Justice and so my judge you di asem no say to say on transem no so adi tie bia to see obi di asem ni bewi enti oba say kwesi ada na ye 5th of January and you could see our high court, you could do some year application, our awareness to application and a lawyer in Marco. At the buyer said, set aside the interim injunction. Dear boy, not what tea in with tea, and I say, on your convince, as a so ye taboni finish, and cosum danoso, because it's 10 days in the vessel. That was around and no normal really on the 6th of January. That was around 11-12. Kobo Eviato. The nya sorry for why you do so. Akwetia da baby answer. And yadia ye went MPD answer. Which said 10 days next one, ye be whom ya see be. If you are not do ye me cry me my breath my dad ye now calls to say oh share parliament on share cost next to me and ye swear because the next coming and comes no court for no man. You really may my and what in a hook to it. And it be not clerk, because near for several parliament, so the clerk no air warning. So still also be a funny and video, no dear Munyama. And your way, and young so dear friend, brand new who said, who be a contemptuous of the court. As they will book court. 2 minutes so the next say they could down court na near file near the court the court ya penal serve no wa be in one year no into the application for court who bills the expert application so my final fan serve no on the WhatsApp line in the social media handle sir yes serve would be na de tie na ne lawyer esa ba court file a motion bi say judge no recusing no because of a bias na ono a file certiorari ewo Supreme Court ewo asem na judge ni di ye di injunction to commission no wa file certiorari with Supreme Court inti ade say Supreme Court entwen High Court maintain Supreme Court in this asem ni wi ansana one also be bia wa ye nemo ni kwan bia so be koso no wadi asem no na to the extent say wetimi kra ma expert application see emfa contempt nkrata no emfa serve awareness mi e wo WhatsApp no judge ne bias judge ne recuse no na judge ne trend say me tibemu a say me bias a wo de ba me amanim say wo bisa me a na bia na afesa me kan say me bias a Fako Supreme Court on a catch on say me bias but mean to me a judge my own course what ba me nim say me bias na me ama hwe na ma rule say me bias and am me bias ye nya no sa enti court Supreme Court and a court so time na court catch on say me bias nti omo ma me order say me bias we just need anya on the dismiss on application it na so ho no kire say awareness me ogitum say yasel ho no contempt in crackers. It is wa on one kasa wa amba court for it. If you na member court in the court, mammy find out me move application. Now court in the day. Yes, Obama na kwenya for say on Sambra court no MBU na one work contempt. And on my hearing notice that the same one was up you. Wama. And a judge and say, or better man of last opportunity, or some years will be and no so wama. And a judge is okay, and you may move application. Now, me try my sim. Sabrens on me a truck at our parliament. And Mama and crack, I mean, a course to be a treasure awareness to me by about the way. If you are doing the other court, I thought to know a year no so what it. If you have a money ruling a year and then answer a trail. It's the ruling on nearby. Anopa ibedu ye no na owura gari ni makonso woko and ya me lawyer for the me kwati ya your friend case no e no sorry ye say officer kasa na judge ne say o kasa say oni hwan minimum isan say owura next to me no an kasa wo he isan we ye contempt enya sebo matter o he fa and am ye to so mi no an kasa so on file ehwe high court ye court of record on file ehwe wa asemu mu na o sorry say officer kasa say oni hwan intimate record minimum and then day you may be really it's really make because ya mamu opportunity kumino e book court no ma and I won't so buy on file every mean the end ya dance put kumina asma say brakosa it make us why na court the man is really send ya money am say e convicted no na say we bu ane for na emu ubu ane for no na so twen na dey court they say just here the number anymore answer entina e wa frɛ wa na wo ma e kwan e da ho a obetimi e de enya obiu e ye so be issue bench warrant is an say ye srɛ wo sebra na wo ma na fi abe yo hye di o hye no any bench warrant na court na issue na o de hwehwɛ no nti ye try da ye beti awareness to me ne de na ba high court na nsɛm a ɛwɔ hɔ na ye na sotwen na court the amount ti baby a habi no
okay na yane owura Gary ne makodi nkoma a oma me fa PNDC law kotu ye na enu akire ne nso no oma me call ye the constitution article 92 oma me ekenkan ya ne tofa bomu no ekire se ansa na obe raise questions e wa bato ho nsem no eti se nipa no ya gazette na wie no within 21 days but no argument ne say ya gazette nipa no kra na mo chance say mo file meaning say mo breach proceedings.
Well on say because I ni a ho ma minimum argument now ye na lawyer for ye training no ye stem bi o ha e wo court na ye so kan ye wie ya na nke nka ho asem to be hwe me nkomo amedia e ye niesi e na maka You see, it's not something that was filing circular. I was Supreme Court.
Yes.
You prepare your correspondence. Menene nya dream back say was asking. Of course, Obama wa kan mra no. Eno no wa kan a kire. But the mra ne kasa Section 18 of PNDC law now. It has received a judicial interpretation. It has received it has received a judicial interpretation. And the Supreme Court and fine a casafa. None cases or trial in the Supreme Court to come fast as a war. As somewhat coincidentally, a Apetia Crona, Apetia ex party, Dr. Kufia Sari, I mean, funny currency, on your grab, Baba Jama, your former.
Yes, yes.
Again, the Supreme Court come fast Section 18. Now, Gary say the Supreme Court ever can't find Rano and not any at the class, and then yet there's the Rano Senior Siena. In any case, Chief, men perceive argument no day now, because a Breno Eba, yes, the Supreme Court, you ever for yes, argument if you want me know about this uncommon.
Okay.
Men perceive be people pushing in much remove a radio so. Yes, and ya training. Subjudice. Nunti na nsemba cry say lawyer for di asema amon kasa wo ho. There is a fine line in terms of niesi our report no betimi aka but ni ebesi anenyansi ye de enka. Ejori agari wo do wasama akodan yes Supreme Court. We are meeting you there. Ye kwa kokambra wo. Ni afen the Supreme Court beka. Me ne nya adwen ba ku say na ye gazette ye anase ya gazette and the sen no. Ordinary could be Supreme Court. But you see, and come on here, this is here. And you contempt in Como. Open you contempt, no me say, court to the taboo to also. Supreme Court is what kind of plethora of cases say. Some post the sister court, the Madi or no, what be mono, say, of Fumumra, and I said, why, near cry, and no man who pint. So be disobey near court and find a court for progress set aside. Of any what matters. Hello?
Yeah, Metiopa.
Court, Supreme Court, Supreme Court of competent jurisdiction, catch or say, catch it, and court see so answer. Now, what the lawyers to say, court to answer more kind, one family, one so the kind. One yet no requires to cry now. Who requires over because it's so I'd be mono. A young null and void the answer court and alpha my passing, still over court as assassination. Then it's a recipe for chaos because of what the other side and so back then you and so far now the DSC. It's a somewhat I must answer me a capacity. Let me explain to you. And your contempt, which is different, as somewhere the what to say about one and same Yakuno. Opening young kind cry, your master crowd. Young and young also cry. But the other master, my here, I make a fast and nature, looking at my essence. And you say, start 10 days to say, yes, I can answer. And your court of competent, the High Court of the Republic of Ghana. And quants and quiet party we answer. Now, what you tribunal is answer section 18 of CNDC law 284 and answer whatever would be in who dream because argument in Yano already Marco Bayer or High Court for and a High Court Rubogui. The argument is that young Douglas say, and some of the blame me and found but name because they are Supreme Court. Who Bayer's argument in your court to know an argument. Now, free honor, I will say, court I can't. Or let me but what comes to me the mayor, not still my parliament to my way. Can you imagine since yes, the other side, the no boomra, and almost so stormy, hot in my uncle parliament, and can then Kagana and don't see any son to say, near Tibiara, and Samano, oh dear, who did near court, and son, and the criminal over part of you didn't watch that aside. Of course, appellate. Court near the area what we High Court we can't something lawyer for some for High Court Court of Appeal are reversed. It's either Supreme Court now Supreme Court are passed by judicial review in the form of certiorari. It's either there. Identity. Now, interestingly, Obu and Ranoso on the 6th hour for Parliament, 2 days. We are not here on Parliament. It be 2 days and then we'll go to Supreme Court. Now, court bend and obey. It's the one who can't tell you. As for petition, we are nearby. 7. The judicial reanalysis that the engine say, and yes, the crime is in law no can read. And you see, a government says, I'm gathering. We are filing pressure, you didn't have arguments in High Court. And the High Court in the Miami, you go to Supreme Court. On can I come and do you? You be sure.
Okay. Now,
somewhere that radio so be and it's a court and mouth. And she said, yes, I did we and quiet. And what way? In the confirm to section 284, section 284, no, you don't interpret section 284. If you are so judge, people interpreting what the High Court, you were obliged to obey the rules of the orders of the court. Put me any basis, say on your own rules to say, near what kind High Court, no one still I would yet now instrument of appointment. We are judge. Of any what in your mission, I say, and somewhere that I'm some no petition, you see a bush of court. I don't have problem. I can assure you that assuming without admitting the Supreme Court is deciding for so that party and your petition now contempt because contempt to be a criminal the court some brain or cancer for your ABCD no and in here echo for ye. If you are not on come what and said, yes, a man, a client, a year, you're not called to say, man, on you.
Okay. Na ye kwa anyway. Na ye bisa court na eba jurisdiction. Na court no what jurisdiction to hear the matter.
Maybe actually say, "Sound common, me, upisamia." Na court was absolute jurisdiction. Na court no, it was absolute jurisdiction. On what jurisdiction be a? The argument now more yes only jurisdiction because you gazette here one was adding the apple. But in the money here, I don't got replay no. Here go share with Supreme Court. Money I move about radio 14 before. Now mo make the argument because so. Here share the Supreme Court for beka. That or no me push me in economic jurisdiction. Me nya sure say ya ba radio no so say ya ba the law. Is it go to be here now? Okay. Jurisdiction, not court no jurisdiction.
Okay. Enra akwati amra shebedwane eko parliament. Oko ekran so wanko keke. Osan eko make a statement. Oh. Awomana na kate anaso na kate no. Okay, ya behwe. Na ye no awie wo ho. Tie eye enra ora Ernest Yankome nyonko pa no. Na ninsema oditu dwa oko parliament sema okokaye mepacho yentie.
This is where we urge NGOs and companies and other organizations to augment what government is doing or what successive governments have done in the past so as to be able to eliminate this entirely. Mr. Speaker, solid waste disposal or management has also been a problem to us in this country. Throughout my campaign in Akwetia constituency, there are certain communities that their basic request to me throughout the campaign was for me to provide the containers for disposal of waste. So the problem is the people actually want to do the right thing, but even where to put their waste is a problem to them. So even when the containers are not available for them to dispose their waste, what do we expect them to do? So various entities and assemblies and organizations that are responsible for providing these container bins for disposal must also be up to the task and make sure that these containers are available in the communities to assist. Then, Mr. Speaker, increasingly we are losing our communal sense as well. We are becoming too individualistic in this country. So most of the time, people are concerned with basically what happens and what they can actually afford. When you come to where I live, we have challenges as well, but because maybe I can afford and pay today's Abubuya and other people that randomly comes out to pick my bin. I, as well as most of the people in my community, are not much concerned about what is happening to the others. This is where I urge all of us to be very communal-minded so that increasingly we will speak to ourselves, urge ourselves to help in such communal labors and organizing such communal labors to eliminate such waste issues that confronts us in our communities.
Okay. Enti Ernest Yaukumi Akwetia Mrashebedwe, the Honorable Member of Parliament Akwetia Onona wote se enra call Parliament okwenso wankon keke osanko make a statement on the floor of the House. Enti enono so legally no ewo consequences be na right. 425 02011627746 02011627746 na je se ozo yekin kan wadwen kire no ewa ha na bibia nkoyie na me abe boss kwesi aboaje bede mpa bo ta na je se onye ne tentem na the law no wie pe na me so metia me na echi am so mkwashe me de ase because they say yakin kan akase afi ye be wura man kasa ne so yakọ ye law ni bi ite me twa me boss abna be say oba na ma de the past question. Okay, for identify 02011627746 02011627746 Ghana Montie so the immediate Jerry OSEI AGYEMAN. And I'm a Sancha me kwa na for bibi asanka no pa nti onyama bedre edi oba bedre na yakaje nego me ba be show messages and on Friday so don't say na Friday there today be Friday, today be today be Friday. You do Friday in the zone when they are there. Okay. I'm for messages in the kakra. Wahana. Yanking kind. Messages so medi say what they be one man which. That is say which. Okay. We say good morning to you, Jerry. My name is Osman inside Katamanso News Sports. JM, Ghanaians voted for you to become our president of the Republic of Ghana. Stop sacking government workers. And what about your 24-hour economy? Also, Chia Abemunsuo Communication Center, our Katamanso. In fact, there be what would be your program you to me. Abemunsuo for your chairman. When you say Richard Amasa, also my in-laws, the Mampurusis have a proverb. When the true criminals running around free, the only honorable place for a decent human being is in prison. Yesterday, history was made in Ghana when our caring and selfless president joined Labour to agree on a minimum wage. He made a true and frank system. Ghana's economy was criminally handled by Nane's administration. Some of them are still hiding in the 53 days old government, and they needed to be booted out without mercy. Kwame Banuakon GMPC Esther Ekuya Santoa, accountant at Pharmacy Council Kumasi, Prince OSEI Municipal Finance Officer, Bekwai Municipal Assembly. More names on Monday. Okay, Richard Amasama. In fact, I promise all the names we ever. Okay, and also Francis, Citizen Francis. Also, 6 weeks into 2025, the city has depreciated by 6.5%. Inflation has skyrocketed to 28.5%, and base pay has dropped from 25% to 10%. The NDC government 10% salary increase for public sector workers is an insult. They promised affordability but delivered soaring prices, doomsday, and job losses. It's time to hold them accountable for their broken promises and incompetence. Citizen Francis. Lamprekin Rashid Tamagol said also, good morning, Mark Jerry. President John Dramani Mahama has increased the daily minimum wage by 1.82, which works out to 44.45 monthly. So the current daily minimum wage increment cannot even buy Kusuya Nimeko. And for me, it is excellent news. and at the same time, 58% increase of electricity tariff is coming. We should all enjoy the fruit of our labor. Where's McJerry? Did I hear Mahama complaining about the mismanagement of the economy by Akufo-Addo's administration? Mark, why did Ghanaians vote for JDM? Is it not there to fix the ailing economy left by Nanado the showboy? So why is he complaining? Master, he should reset the economy as he promised, then stop complaining. McJerry, why do you always support negative things? Yes, Binyanisa. Abrante bi or say your friend George or whatever. With the main cash. Right. Your church or the when I hear the voice of Dr. Baumia in Ghana politics, I realize he is not satisfied with the extreme poverty that he brought on Ghanaians. Dr. Baumia introduced gold for oil policies when the cedi to dollar was 10 less than 2 years. The cedi crossed 17, and the most laziest economist, and should keep mute. Mr. President Lankwantana Medina cannot wait to hear Honorable Abdul Razak Hussein nominated for MCE position. Alai Baba or the Free Medina. Where's McJerry? If not wicked, how can a government whose term is coming to an end just from December 7, 2024, January 7 recruitment, December 7, 2024 to January 7 recruitment, 1,250 staff to recruit, recruited 1,250 staff to the various departments. Tell me, Jerry, where do you expect the government to get the money to pay all these people, and yet to expect the government to do infrastructure development? Let's be patriotic citizens. Are you aware that Trump has sacked all the judges that Biden brought? And are they practicing the same democracy? If it were Ghana, you will see how you, the hypocrite, will continue to say, God bless our homeland, Ghana. I believe, say, Eric was that would you a hypocrite, because if you had known what also happened, I don't think you would say this. Salam alaikum, Mark Jerry. John Mahama is still using MPP budget. Why the leaders are complaining? Hey, where's Jerry? Good morning to you, Uncle Abnamafu. I heard you on your morning news that another prayer calls for peace in Boku and Wale. Was it not the one urging his party MPP members to back fellow MPP members in fighting the NDC? Where is the integrity in his call? Kwame Osrani Esidu or the Free Finland. Mark Jerry, you people broke out the news about dollars in containers at Sapiman in Accra, but we are not hearing anything about it again. What is the outcome? SK Mahama Dumso. Yentem with you, Adekwa, you maybe on Sadeko. When you say the 10% salary increment is such a wonderful and magic thing any government in the world can do, and a struggling economy like what we experience. Even opposition MPP party will applaud the government for being able to increase salaries. In the economy, they themselves collapsed. Workers are most grateful to the NDC government, and I know it will even go higher at the appropriate time. Ghana will surely work again under the able leadership of President Mahama and Professor J. Nana Opoku Agyeman. Masawudi Difrikumasa Bantama. NDC is always insensitive to the plight of the people of Ghana when they are in government. Looking at the unlawful terminations of the appointments, those who voted for the NDC and those who didn't vote at all have regretted and will never repeat such a mistake in 2028, resetting Ghana agenda indeed. Also, Chairman Odeneho Kwekuapia, aka Koka. In Shaba and Elka Shaman constituency, first broken promise by John Dramani Mahama, and I quote him, I will nominate my cabinet, 30% of whom will be women. But John Mahama has only nominated 2 women to his cabinet. 10% of that. This shows Mahama has failed and can't keep to his promise. I said, okay, so the Shaba and Elka. Saying here the measure president to be. We say, is this not the same Mahama who told us He has chopped the meat to the bone in 2015. Now he is calling Akufo-Addo as criminally managing the economy. No wonder insulting is synonymous to Mahama, and it's about time that he's being reminded that he doesn't own insult. He should sit up for Christ's sake. Thank you. Where's McJerry? Tell Gary Nemako that Kasa Tenten Toponko. He should spend our years and let the court decide. Period. Shouting doesn't win the case. So, when he tell fellas quite so that he shouldn't worry himself because of MPP. They are born to lie. Everybody knows them. As our late President Rawlings said, they are like chameleons. Message new friend in them. When you say good morning, McJerry, Gary Nemako is only making noise and not able to answer simple and sensible questions from you. All that he says is that they are questions for another day. Is serious? Someone has alako or the free bookba down. When you say good morning, McJerry, I trust you are doing well. I'm regular listener. Please, the NDC lawyer voice is low. Could you please ask him to raise his voice? Oh, Kafra. Okay. Eric Wakubwa, this patriotic voice, bitch. Also, NDC is really resetting Ghana. Mr. President, you have borrowed in an excess of 20 billion cedis since you took over and have sacked over 12,000 workers already. The best you did for workers is your paltry 10%. Eric Wakubwa, what's it? John Mama Bobos here. Away. What's it? All right, how you did 100.9. Over to me, the one so the alpha 020 1162746 020 1162746. When what they message, you know, what they befa. Mesha Kasante or also Mamudi. Hey, Kavre. Yo, Ghana Montie Sene.
Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie.
Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie. Na mansanya so. Ada Roko Fiaman Homene so ejiji tonton sansan ewo neat 100.9 FM.
Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie.
Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie. Number Sanya and the Roko Fiaman Homene so ejiji tonton sansan ewo neat 100.9
feeling you. All I want is you. Oh, yeah, tell me what I don't feel do. I you. Whatever you want, I go give you. Oh, my baby boo. 247, girl, I'm ready. Body set it. Go to my shit. For my baby. Wanna do many things very crazy. Now she telling me, say she be Jensen. She rockin' fatty. Pull up in a Benz. Bum bum they upset, see what she bad. You go put me in my oh yeah, say me all look at you. Shabali you know the day. My nest are not dating. I need to know what you did. Say you look at you. Shabali you know the day. My nest are not dating. Come to my
Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie.
Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie. Na mansanya so. Ada Roko Fiaman Homene so ejiji tonton sansan ewo neat 100.9 FM.
Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie.
feet, my chest. Your back asset. You know they make my chumba rest. Me see my jolly. But no better me congo no. Baby congo so. You dey see me no fit kill am for my head. I need to know what you did. Oh yeah, send me a look kiki. Shabali you know the day. Oh, my nest are not the day. I need to know what you did. Send me a look kiki. Shabali you know the day. Oh, my nest are not the day. Come to my da. Oh, excellent, excellent, oh, excellent, excellent. You go put me for emergency. Shorty, excellent, excellent, oh, excellent, excellent. You go put me for emergency. Tell me I need you. You make a man feel in you. All I want is you. Oh, yeah, tell me what I know feed do. I you. Whatever you want, I go give you. Oh, my baby boo. 247, girl, I'm ready. Body set it. Go to my shit for my baby. Wanna do many things very crazy. Now she telling me, say she be Jensen. She working Fendi. Pull up in a Benzie. Bum they offend me when she bend it. You go put me for it. I need to know what you did. Oh, yeah, send me a look kiki. Shabali, you know the day. Oh, my nest are not the day. I need to know what you did. Send me a look kiki. Shabali, you know the day. Oh, my nest are not the day. Come to my da. Oh, excellent, excellent, oh, excellent, excellent. You go put me for emergency.
Ghana Montie na mansanya so adawro Kofi man homene so ejiji tonton sansan ewo neat 100.9 FM.
Nipa enyiro na nani ahoden ebafo empo emabunu bi ebre ewo anim nanso eni yade biara wo no mekanfo Optovision Eye Clinic ediamao. Optovision Eye Clinic provides diagnosis and world-class affordable treatment for all eye diseases, including glaucoma, cataract, and yadia hudu pi. Dear Stronko Krani said, Optovision Eye Clinic were quality designer space a hudu ebe fatal. Send me a penny biara. It is a weni yoya. Anasa weni a huadi abafom. Anasa upese umuadie here. Unim baby esasa uba. Optovision Eye Clinic.
Call us on 0553 270806 or WhatsApp on 0558 517556. Optovision Eye Clinic.
Hey, catch it. Listen in here. And you ma beto to dia me baba no hwan de no. Hwem so betumi a. Hey, asew. Hey, now beka. Ya John to mami ensa duku portmanteau. This way chocolate drink. Na kan wo hwe afibia so beri ni waware ne a. This way chocolate drink. Na kan sia. Oh, asew. Wo den kan no tumu ho. Me be mo anu nsu hye kura de aka ho. Wo hwe de wepi ho. O ka sa batete e da fom ho.
This way chocolate drink.
Crack shop be baba aware.
Asew.
Ye fi say this way chocolate drink ya sorry anopa no ne yenom. Ye be hye fridge nom no se snack. Ye nya hoho a no ne de serve wo mo. Ye didi wie ne ye pe bibia bogu ya de so a. This way chocolate drink ne yenom. And this way no ti ano a, he se kire wom, koko wom, brick wom, bibia wom, ade wo hia ne so hye.
This way chocolate drink.
De wo hia ani so hye.
FDA ahwehwe se adwede nkratoe mo agye atum se eye.
What's cool, fresh and trendy with a new look? Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe.
Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Ain't gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you flow. Anytime, anywhere. Specialized feel different. Always think specialized.
nice, natural mineral water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Ghana Muntie, Naman Sanya at the web of Yaman woman so digital to Sunshine, I would need 100.9 FM. Ghana Muntie, Naman Sanya at the web of Yaman homeless digital to Sunshine, I would need 100.9 FM.
The best station in the capital. Meet FM.
Okay, high needs 100.9. Today be Friday. It's here in Chabaja Forum. Everton Sena, yeah, the discussions and I share. So weekly in retrospect. And in some of the SEC, July 4, Eketuya, and the accounting in Ano, your bidding home and come on. And none of pair will need 100.9. So I'm sure messages in the Biwaha. Well, say good morning to you, Mark Jerry. MPP should know that Aba Yadebo Techino Yadebo Bar. So Ernest Yaokumi should face the law. Kofi Tete free, South Africa. When saying within the Kwabelevi from Pokuya Sebengazi. Also, it is pending MPP that President John Mahama has sacked all the MCs and DCs. MPP also did same to NDC members when they gained power. Dr. Baumia is also complaining about it. And he should keep quiet because he didn't create any job when he was in power. He is not the one to direct President John Mahama as to what he should do. Okay. When Mark Jerry, Mr. Nimako is one of the good lawyers in the country. But even if the High Court has no jurisdiction, it's a matter of challenging it in a higher court than to be a judge on its own and refuse court orders. God bless you. Emmanuel, let it free. Tema. Mesha Kasante said, did I hear the warmonger Nodompre asking for calmness in Boku? In fact, one day shall never end. Was he not the same person who incited the youth of MPP to fight NDC youth in Ablekuma North? People like him need not to be given attention. He must be See. Okay. When Mahama took over, there were no oil to power our generators. But Mahama has to conjure to get our ECG working. When Mahama took over, there were no food for the SHS schools. Again, Mahama has to conjure for food in the schools. How difficult is it for him to settle DDP? You have a good intention. Somebody prioritize paying for spare parts and National Cathedral. MPP, keep quiet and watch the nation builder. Patrick. Edify, Accra. Wednesday, good morning to you, Mark Jerry. I love listening to your show due to the way you handle your interview. You ask very legitimate questions. Where Nana Esiedu answer or the free Ekropon Equiapim. And I'm that's. Wednesday, good morning to you, Mark Jerry. So, what at all does the MPP want from JDM? They came to power for the period of 8 years. Ask them, what did they do to benefit we Ghanaians? They should give us a break. Sarah Boachiwa Eduse from I was actually more. Okay. That's it. Ibia Eko ye. Okay. Mami Fawe. Wednesday McJerry, good morning to you. Sometimes I don't understand you. But the Ediana Maka, or they told me, what have I said? And I want to say, I don't know which was say. Sometimes I don't understand you. You make business analysis. Meet Ediana Maka. Analysis ben a me business. Yeah, sometimes mama young say most more drink kakra. Ana to say bio. Mo a mo trust sad messages. Utro ye ebia McJerry. This is this and that analysis. Na ebia nchimugo ana mediaba. Na we dey watchro. Na McJerry. Sometimes I don't understand you. Sit on radio and make business analysis. Business analysis. Nipa no son catch you. Em send the message here etie for mo de mo de sebe mo adwum mo do no. With the message you sending me. And me am meti ye hwan pa na nensem mo kan ye business. The ono wa send ya mami. And me am meti ke matena se every 5:30. Business habiri. Ozo gusu tie mi o. And a message in the cross send by ye say wo hwe na about 8:55. We tie mi a. And I say me make business analysis. Wanka analysis. Into me a betika. Since 5:30 you know I was sending message. E dia bring me 8:54. Why not the business? Wanka say okay. Bra me that's why. Why send a message with that? Comments are me pele too. I see if 10% increment of salary is okay for workers, it means Nana Baumia government lives better economy. Greetings to Honorable Moses Sabo, National Organizer, Hopeful. Charles Oting, Assistant Secretary, Hopeful. Well, where's the McJerry? Good morning. I always enjoy your show. I'm Ken Goro from South Africa. Ken Goro, South Africa. But South Africa, all fine. I'll say Honorable Ken is the best to reset Ghana. Ken Goro. Ken Goro, and I said also a message for the bread. Now, my way, you. And that's that. Fellas, quite you for so. And yeah, you know. Then said, a bit here is somebody be or the two. But I'm saying, no. And next week, I'll come once again.
Looking to level up?
This is where we urge NGOs and companies and other organizations to augment what government is doing or what successive governments have done in the past so as to be able to eliminate this entirely. Mr. Speaker, solid waste disposal or management has also been a problem to us in this country. Throughout my campaign in Akwetia constituency, there are certain communities that their basic request to me throughout the campaign was for me to provide the containers for disposal of waste. So the problem is the people actually want to do the right thing, but even where to put their waste is a problem to them. So even when the containers are not available for them to dispose their waste, what do we expect them to do? So various entities and assemblies and organizations that are responsible for providing these container bins for disposal must also be up to the task and make sure that these containers are available in the communities to assist. Then, Mr. Speaker, increasingly we are losing our communal sense as well. We are becoming too individualistic in this country. So most of the time, people are concerned with basically what happens and what they can actually afford. When you come to where I live, we have challenges as well, but because maybe I can afford and pay today's Abubuya and other people that randomly comes out to pick my bin, I, as well as most of the people in my community, are not much concerned about what is happening to the others. This is where I urge all of us to be very communal-minded so that increasingly we will speak to ourselves, urge ourselves to help in such communal labors and organizing such communal labors to eliminate such issues that confront us in our communities.
Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie.
Relates to the reactivation of the sinking fund and honoring of Ghana's obligations to bondholders. 2 days ago, I issued a statement in which I conveyed news of a directive from President Mama to the Ministry of Finance to take steps to settle maturing coupons of Ghanaian bondholders who suffered drastic haircuts under the domestic debt exchange program. So on Tuesday, 17th February, Monday, 17th February, I beg your pardon, an amount of 6 billion Ghana cedis or so was paid to these bondholders. Now, subsequent to the announcement of these payments and the announcement that the sinking fund has been reactivated, we have had some rebuttals from the MPP, whose officials have claimed that we have been able to do that as a government only because they left some buffers, and that it is not because of any specific intervention from President Mahama. I wish to place on record that this narrative is untrue. For officials of the former government to be able to say that these payments and honoring of these obligations have been the outcome of work that they did, they need to point specifically where those buffers were located.
Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie, Naman Sanyason.
In order to be able to pay the money, you need to find it and lodge it somewhere. That is what you call a buffer, pending payment at a given date. Now, what we call the sinking fund, for short, is actually known as the debt service reserve account. That is where money is kept pending the payment of bondholders and other creditors. Now, this debt service reserve account has a CD component and a dollar component. In other words, there are two accounts, one denominated in CDs, the other denominated in dollars. So because it is an account, it is possible to obtain a statement of account which shows you transactions over a certain period. So if the MPP officials are saying that we are able to pay these monies because they left money in the sinking fund, it should reflect when you take a cursory look at the statement of account. I have the statement of account before me. It is a voluminous document which shows all transactions that have occurred in the account over a certain period. Now, if you look at the dollar-denominated debt service reserve account, the records will show that the last time under the MPP, when there was a movement in the account, was 22nd October 2024. That was the last time that any money came in or left that account before the MPP left power. Now, if you check the balance in the account as of 22nd October 2024, it was $64,387. $64,387. We are talking about payments within the range of 6 billion Ghana cedis. And you and I know that $64,000 billion Ghana cedis. Indeed, if you did a rough conversion using an exchange rate of 15 cedis, I'm sure you will get something in the region of about 800,000 Ghana cedis or so, if I'm not mistaken, or a little over 1 million Ghana cedis, if my mathematics is right. Now, on 31st January 2025, and everybody knows that on 31st January 2025, it was the NDC government that was in power, not so. An amount of $96,915,182 was lodged in the account by the finance minister. And it is clear where that money came from. It did not come from anything that the MPP had left in that account. Let me repeat it. The last time that there was any movement in the debt service recovery account, reserve account, I beg your pardon, under the MPP was 22nd October 2024. The balance on that day in the account was $64,387. The next time there was a movement was 31st January 2025. And a transfer of $96,915,182 was made into the account in order to ensure that we are able to meet the obligation that arose on 18 February 2025. That is the payment of maturing coupons to bondholders. Now, if you look at the CD-denominated debt service reserve account, you will find also that when the NDC took over on 7 January 2025, the last time that anything had happened in our account before the MPP left was 2nd January 2025. 2nd January 2025. The amount of money in the account on that date, 2nd January 2025, was 155,463,435 Ghana cedis. 155,463,435 Ghana cedis. Bear in mind that we are talking about payments in excess of 6 billion Ghana cedis. In addition to that, another 9 billion Ghana cedis is actually sitting in the fund as we speak to pay for maturing coupons in July and August. If you put it together, that is 15 billion Ghana cedis. Yet the balance when the MPP was sleeping was 155 million Ghana cedis. So how could they possibly say that they were the ones who built the buffer? What kind of buffer is this? If you have obligations amounting to 15 billion Ghana cedis, is the buffer you need for that 155 million Ghana cedis? And if you check the statement of account, which I'm willing to show you, you will see movements of monies into the account starting from somewhere around 23rd January 2025 by this government. And that is the reason why we were able to honor the obligations that arose from the domestic debt exchange program. As I speak to you, as of yesterday, 17th February 2025, the balance in the account was 9,270,537,727.67 cedis. That is the balance. And this balance is there as a buffer against debt service obligations in July and August this year. So it is clear on the basis of available facts and evidence that the claim by members of the MPP administration, which just left power, that we are able to honor these obligations because of buffers they built, is completely untrue.
In the capital, Neat FM.
Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie.
Going to report that results in a situation where some of those illegal miners attack you. These are not state actors. They are not state actors. Even in instances where a state actor assaults a journalist, you need to determine whether he was acting as part of a design by government to silence criticism, or he was just overzealous and acted on his own. So we need to delineate the issues and understand what has happened. But if you lump everything together and heap blame at the doorstep of government, it creates a misleading narrative, which is not right. That is why we have requested for the meeting with the Ghana Journalists Association to dialogue over this matter. But as for the general commitment to protecting every Ghanaian citizen, including journalists, government remains steadfast in that position. So we will be demanding an update on where things are in terms of the investigation. But we needed to clarify that these people have not acted on the CSO of government.
Finally, from me, this may not necessarily be on the three topics that you raised this morning, but on the 10th of January 2025, the President, through his secretary, wrote to the IGP to request for immediate investigation into the death of 8 Ghanaians during the 2020 and 2024 general elections. What is the status of that request the President made of the IGP, and what's the way forward regarding that?
Well, we are yet to receive a report in that regard. Once we receive it, we will make it known to the public. Or better still, I can make some inquiry about where things are and update you on it. But it only underscores the commitment of this government to ensure that such matters are dealt with and justice is sought every time that these things occur.
Sir, I just wanted to just get clarity on this because we were talking about journalists.
Sure.
The NCA has revoked their licenses or has disconnected some radio stations. And one particular radio station in Boko, the reason is that they're inciting violence and for security threats. Do we get some evidence? Because I'm picking on social media, people asking where the evidence is.
That is a matter that the Minister for Communications and the NCA would have to address. So subsequently, they will engage the public to shed light on the reasons informing the action. But as for regulatory action, it is something that we need to support. What it is that if stations are targeted because of their political leanings and views, then there's a difficulty. But if there's a general violation of the principles and rules and ethics governing the practice of media and broadcasting, it is the duty of regulators to step in and ensure that people are complying with Ghanaian law. So that general principle must be laid. I know that in the past, when some radio stations were closed, we criticized it severely. And we did so because the reasons that they gave clearly were unconvincing, they were untenable, and it was obvious that they were targeting those radio stations because of their political, perceived political leanings or views. But I don't believe that is what has happened in this case. But as I said, I would encourage the NCA and the Ministry of Communication to engage the public to explain the reasons behind why this action has been taken. I know that a statement has been issued by the Minister of Communications announcing and shedding some light on this, but perhaps more needs to be done going forward to drive home the reasons for this. But I certainly can rule out political motivation or considerations other than pure regulatory violations. And President Mahama, as I've indicated, is not one going to target people because of what they believe in. His record is clear. And I believe that those of you in the media can attest to it more than any group of people. Yes.
Okay, we have seen a petition making rounds signed by the minority leader, Afenyo King, addressed to the president, essentially asking him to reverse the revocation of the public sector appointments. First of all, has your office received this petition? And secondly, what would be your response to his plea that this is in contravention to the 1992 Constitution, the appointments, and asking you to reverse it?
Well, first of all, I'm not aware
Yeah, Braku, tire for this place. Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie,
Ghana Muntie, Ghana Muntie, Naman Sanyason, at the Roko Fiaman woman so ejiji tonton sansan, would need 100.9.
Find out. But in terms of the substance of the petition, I think we've explained this. That when the transition process began, we noticed these speedy, hurriedly arranged, often highly irregular recruitments into various public agencies. We raised the issue. Indeed, on the very first day of the joint transition meeting, we raised the issue. And you recall that after the meeting, I addressed the media and pointed out that we have this serious concern about the manner in which these appointments are being done. We had asked for some dialogue and engagement between our side and the outgoing government side to have an understanding of what exactly is happening. We also thought that because a new government was coming in, it was important that certain decisions are reserved for them to take. Whilst it is true that the tenure of the previous government ended on 6th January, it is also true that it was the incoming government that was going to bear the brunt in terms of remuneration and finding the money to pay these people. So surely they must have a say in how this is done. We requested for meetings, we requested for explanations. We said that they should at least hold on pending some consultation on the matter. They rebuffed it and said that they had the power to do so. And you recall that on 17 December 2024, I issued a statement on behalf of the NDC side of the transition team and indicated that given the frustration we had faced from government and its unwillingness to engage on the matter, and our knowledge of the irregularities that afflict the recruitments going on, we were going to be left with no option than to reverse those decisions pending further inquiry and any other actions that may be taken going forward. So it's not like this has come as a surprise to anybody. We were very clear on our position on the matter. And there's precedent. The MPP took a similar position in the past. You recall that when they came to power, some nurses whose recruitment had begun long before the elections, their recruitments were put on hold for several months, if not a year or so. And it was because the MPP took the position that an incoming administration must have significant say in any actions that have fiscal implication for the incoming government. We also spoke about some payments that were being made and how they needed to stop so that we'll be able to have a handle on things when we take over power. So, yes.
The petition and you are not going to...
I have not said that. I personally am not aware whether we have received, but I can find out. It's not something that should be difficult to do. But even if it has been received, the matters are very clear. And I don't think that a decision like that is taken merely because a letter has been written. There are ways in which the matters are addressed. It needs to be placed on record that the government of Ghana, the one led by President Mahama, has no difficulty with any specific individual. It doesn't matter whether you are MPP or NDC. And we believe that MPP members, just like NDC members or any other group of Ghanaians, deserve the same opportunities to serve once there are vacancies in the public and civil service. But there must be...
Okay. 80 Felix Kwachi Ofosu. Enra the press conference I think this has been the third press briefing and our conference where to address specific issues. Okay, yeah. I think this has been the second press conference to address specific issues. I don't know yet here. Well, it's a good morning to you, McJerry. In fact, Omangan and Kasa, as it stands now, pa dear, Jisa Temuda. That is when everything can go right. Greetings to my darling mom, Ekuya Kwesi Bianyameche. Efia Ena Odiwe Ebaye. Well, it's a McJerry. Good morning, NST. Our committee shouldn't have listened to a federal market. If you respect yourself and your reputation, don't put yourself in such situation. Abe Kudifi, Afienya. When Mr. McJerry, Ghana police allowed Ernest to go to Parliament again. Instead of them to arrest him to the judge for his sentence, I'm Anane Kurobo from Nungwa. I'll say good morning. Good morning to you too. McJerry, any told President Mahama that the minister consent to make it a point to clear unfortunate mad people off our streets and take care of them. It's a shame for a country like Ghana. Reverend Benson, convener spokesperson for concerned pastors against bad governance. Hey, sir, yo, yeah, that's it. Well, say good morning to Mark Jerry. Hope life is positive. I like your program, Papa. Please, with all due respect, I know that's not a topic that you guys are discussing, but I want you to help me know whether we are still paying income tax. Income tax, they see it now. And what got there say, wait, your friend saying, I catch you, I said, you too. Or Paris said regards to proposal. I'll say I'm not sure. JDM and ND say respect we government workers. If they respect us, they will never increase our salaries to 10%. This percentage is an insult to we the citizens. God have mercy on us. My greeting to Honorable Brian Echamp. Parry the free home. I'm out of my chest saying,
Papa J, you made them. You went away. Good.
Yes, I see. Weekly retrospect. President, any adjument for Asia, I can 10%. President said another criminally mishandled Ghana's economy. 19 cabinet ministers. Hey, I tell you, cabinet ministers remember also, Mamo. Oh, Mofancha, maybe I'm not Winyante. Eti JDM, the cabinet ministers, no, or the Ababe Tuja. Eti Yansha, why the woman and why need him? 1 year 19, Tianunie. These are the 19 cabinet ministers for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Minister for Finance, Dr. Kaisel Atofolsen. Minister for the Interior, Muntaka Mohammed. Minister for Health, Kwabena Minta Kando. Minister for Defense, Dr. Edward Ofiomanebuama. Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayene Akurutinga Ayene. Minister for Energy and Green Transition, John Abdullahi Jenapon. Minister for Education, Haruna Idrisu. Minister for Trade and Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofusu Ejare. Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Amakofibua. Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudioto Ablakwa. Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoko. Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, Samuel Natijo. Minister for Roads and Highways, Kwame Government Abuja. Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Ibrahim Mutala Muhammad. Minister for Works and Housing and Water Resources, J. Kenneth Gilbert. Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Ahmed Ibrahim. Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Agnes Namumulate. Minister for Transport, Joseph Bukari Nikpe. Minister for Labor, Jobs and Employment, Abdul Rashid Belpo. These are the cabinet ministers. Okay. I'm going to chance here. Yeah, we'll go sweet.
Papa J, but Minchi on a T4.
Table those.